Welcome to another edition of me calling random games. Today we have the UFL. That's right, football is back. Obviously, it's been out for a few weeks now, but we're gonna do. I think am I too low? Yeah, it's fine. But today we're gonna do the UFL Renegades as they take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. We did actually do a little research and can confirm that the Renegades actually played this team, St. Louis, a few weeks ago, and St. Louis did lose. Renegades winning 30-15 over St. Louis. Let's take a look at the standings. And Birmingham leading in the USFL conference along with Michigan with a 3-2 record. Houston is 2-3. The Memphis Showboats are just below at 1-4. In the XFL conference, DC Defenders, they are leading 4-1 with a 4-1 record. Pardon me. Arlington and St. Louis, they are both 3-2. San Antonio down there with 1-4 record. So, not really anyone that's really pulled away, to be honest with you. Yeah, DC has the 4-1 record, but you look at their point differential. Yeah, it's number 2 in the league, but you look at Michigan's, they also have a plus 21. St. Louis with a plus 20. So I would say there's a lot of teams left in this. Definitely a lot of teams that are still vying for those two spots in each of their respective divisions. Obviously, I'm kind of excited for some expansion if that were to happen. I would love to see that. I'd love to see the Pittsburgh Maulers come back. I mean, that's a did I get the games wrong here? I just saw Memphis and Michigan. But I swear. No, it's Arlington. I think they just played the wrong ad. It literally just said Memphis and Michigan. So, I don't know. As we are finally now, I actually had to watch the ending of Family Feud. I was like, what the heck was going on there? But again, these two teams, 3-2, they're looking like they're going to be giving us a good game. And again, Arlington. I would say Arlington would be the favorite, with the point differential. Now, point differential is not exactly what you'd like to, base everything off. I mean, that can be deceiving, but it is a good measure. When you have a lot of games, you can see, okay, like who's been dominating the other teams. And when I say it's deceiving, it's still kind of early. I mean, we're halfway through the season. We only, 5 games played, but for the most part, again, they could have a blowout win. And to be honest, I don't really know much about, I can't even click on them. ESPN doesn't have their own little place for them, which is kind of stupid. But, yeah, whatever. We're just gonna show it right there. And apparently I did something to where you cannot. There we go. We have the records. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and take it right there. The Arlington Renegades, got some more stats for you. We'll look at that soon. The Renegades are actually not favored in this one. It's going to be St. Louis that's favored by 1.5. They've really pushed the betting in this game. I don't know how I feel about it. It's whatever. Trying, because again, sports betting is kind of a big thing now, but and they're showing Arlington 3-2, conference record 2-1. No, it should be division record. St. Louis 3-2, but with a 1-2 record. So that is why Arlington is ahead of. Also, they do have the head-to-head. So there is that. So we have Kurt Menefee and Joel Klatt on the call, so it should be pretty solid there. Max Duggan, again, the quarterback now, I guess, for the Battlehawks. I swear there's another quarterback earlier this year, but I guess not. And I do apologize if you do hear thunder and storming. We have a bunch of thunder and storming over here, and I was unsure if I was even going to get this off in time, but we do. Looking like, again, I got the ticker for you guys if you guys want to know what's going on in other games. Don't worry, I got you covered. So we're just going to, I guess, wait and chill here as they have yet to really show anything other than just highlights and talking about what's going on. Again, it's kind of awkward. They have the game time starting at 7, and then they cut right to it at 7. Usually, again, you have the game show or like the warm-up show. I'm actually going to pick the Renegades to win this one. It's like the Battlehawks, again, they are favored by 1.5. And again, the Renegades beat the Battlehawks earlier this season, 30-15. So we'll see. St. Louis averaging more points. Oh, you guys can't see that. 23.6. Arlington at 23.2 passing yards. Again, in the Battlehawks games, they've really just tried to dominate the run game. They have a really great offensive line, so they don't really pass the ball too much. But yes, so they're not really a passing team. Rushing the ball is kind of what they do. Again, they're leading 145 over Arlington, 107. As far as the defense is concerned, St. Louis had a pretty decent defense to start the year, but now it's like, they're okay. Arlington's, though, is really good. 15.4 points allowed per game. Opponent passing yards only 169. Rushing yards 87. So, again, that defense for Arlington is really solid. And, of course, looking at the stats, and yes, Manny Wilkins was the quarterback for St. Louis, but I guess they made a change. I'm not too sure because they showed me Max Duggan, so we'll see. But Luis Perez with 1,000 yards on the season. Again, not unsure who the starting quarterback for St. Louis is. It's probably Max Duggan, but we're not too sure. Kalen Ballage, he's a former NFL player. 276 yards for him. He's leading the Arlington team in St. Louis with their leading rusher, Jacob Sailors. Sailors is really good. He's also leading the team in receiving, but I just remember the two games that I've actually been able to cover were both Battlehawk games. Sailors, every time he touched the ball, it was some special stuff happening. And then leading, of course, for touchdowns, Devion Smith and Jacob Sailors. On the defensive side of things, Donald Payne is going to be your guy that's making all the tackles, averaging 7 a game there for Arlington. Will Harvey for St. Louis, 26 on the year. For sacks, they each got a guy with 4, Chris Odom for Arlington, and Peta Taumopenu. We'll work on that. And then St. Louis, again, they have Blankenship, former NFL kicker. I'm not too sure if Lucas Havrisic. We'll see. I don't know. I have to look him up. But again, Rodrigo with 36 points. Again, former NFL kicker. And we can actually look at the entire season right here for St. Louis. Again, they started off 2-0. They started off beating Houston 31-6. San Antonio, again, they played them 26-9, but we kind of found out San Antonio's not that good, and Houston's not that great either. They play D.C., they lose to D.C. 15-27. They lose again to this team, Arlington, 15-30. They do win last week, 32-27, so that was a nice offensive. Again, that's kind of like you see this a little bit in the football where, like, the first few weeks it's like, not a lot of scoring, and then, especially as of late now, what in the world has happened? I'm not trying to look at all these ads. Okay, I don't know why that just happened. That's kind of annoying. And then for Arlington, they were winning their first game 33-9 against San Antonio, beating Houston, so they pretty much had the same schedule. And then they lost to Birmingham 10-9. St. Louis, again, they played them 2 weeks ago, winning 30-15. And then they lost a shootout with DC 37-33. So this game is about to start as we have the XFL kickoff that has snuck its way into the NFL. Arlington has the ball, 25-30, tackled at the 32. So that's where the Renegades will begin this opening drive. Again, if you're a first-time visitor, hey, hit that subscribe button. Why? It's free, and I do cover as many games as possible if I'm not working, and if my wife is okay with me being by myself for a few hours, she doesn't need my attention, then I will be here in front of this camera. I've been covering baseball games, and I try to cover UFL when I can. It's usually when I'm busy at work But I'm free today. I worked earlier today, not in the evening. 1st and 10 here for Arlington. Perez under center. In the shotgun. Perez hands it off. And running back there is going to get a few yards. Not too much. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Again, I am very poor with the names. You're going to have to bear with me as I try to, familiarize myself with this team. As, again, I don't understand why. We should have stats here once it starts. I'm not too sure. Again, I try to have something up there for you. I would have my face like everyone else does, but I'm an ugly person. Perez back to pass, throwing to his left. It's caught at the 41. Gang tackled, pushed back, and he's still getting pushed down despite the whistles. Tackled by Chanella, I believe, the tight end. Again, I couldn't quite look at that jersey well. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Arlington. And it looks like they're going hurry up here. Luis Perez hurrying everyone to the line here. 3rd and 1. Under center is Perez. Receiver to the left. Oh, we had some movement. And there is a flag. Unsure on who it's going to be, whether it'll be encroachment or a false start. So what do we got here? Neutral zone infraction. So that's going to be a free first down for Arlington. So he's just moving. 48, just hops across the line. Of course, I don't really like that. If you jump and get back in time, I don't think the offensive lineman should move as a response. Again, it's already easy enough for the offense. That's just my opinion. 1st and 10 at the 46. Perez he's in the shotgun to the left, to the right. Perez back to pass, throws over the middle. It's caught at the 45 of St. Louis, and he's immediately tackled at the 45. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 1. Short passes here to begin the day there for Arlington. I imagine they may take some deep shots later. I'm not too sure. Again, I haven't first time watching Arlington this year. Perez is going to hand it off here to the running back, trying to find a hole, but there's nothing doing as he is stuffed, and he's still getting pushed. They're still pushing each other well after the whistle's been blown. So definitely a lot of high energy out there. So I believe that's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Again, I do apologize. I thought I'd have some stats for you guys. But I got nothing. This looks kind of crappy. I'm not going to lie. 3rd and 1. Ball at the 45. Perez is going to do the quarterback sneak, and he's going to get it with ease. Gain of about 2 there as he gets the first down. They should have the stats here. But they don't. They don't have anything. We're just going to go ahead and leave that up there. But they should update this. I guess at one point they will. I'm not too sure. I'll just have to deal with it. All right, so 1st and 10 here for the Renegades. They have it at the 43. 43 of St. Louis in the pistol. Perez back to pass. Play action, and he's going to check it down here to number 87. 87's going to run a few steps and get pushed out at the 35. And we do have a flag, a penalty marker on the field. I'll need to get an ad blocker. That's what I need. That's so annoying. So it looks like we have looks like someone wasn't really set. So someone hasn't set. So we are going to say we're moving it back to 5 yards. 1st and 15 here for Arlington. Ball at the 48. Arlington once again in the pistol. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Arlington. Man in motion. Perez back to pass. He's actually going to hand it off here. It's a draw. 40 tackled at the 36. So a nice play design there. Turning a Nice draw there, I would say, into a gain of about 12. Started at the 48. There's the replay. Him powering forward to about the 36-37 yard line. 2nd and 4 for Arlington. Ball at the 37. In the pistol, Perez hands it off here to number 4. Powering forward, trucks a man up near the first down marker, but I think we are a little bit short, so it's going to be 3rd down. They're spotting the ball at the 34. I believe they need to get to the 33, so they definitely looking to get that yard. Might do a quarterback sneak again. It worked earlier. Under center, you have 3 backs in the backfield. No receivers out. Perez in the wishbone, and he will get it. They will get the first down. Probably a little bit of a favorable spot on the far sideline there, but they do get the first down. Gain of 2 when you needed 1. Ball at the 32 for Arlington. This clock has been moving. That's kind of the thing here. I believe they just keep that clock moving regardless of incomplete passes. I see that camera was probably a little bit too high. 1st and 10 at the 32 in the pistol for Arlington. And he gets the snap off. Play action. Perez rolls to his right, throws, checks it down, and he's smacked immediately at the line of scrimmage. So that completion just helps his completion percentage, but doesn't really do anything for the team. But we do have a penalty marker once again. So we have an offsides on St. Louis, so that doesn't matter there. That won't impact his stats whatsoever. But again, he's 2 for 4, 14 yards. Not much. Not really much going down the field, but again, it's only the first drive. Arlington apparently leading the league with most points on opening drives this season with 16. Perez barking orders in the pistol. 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right, 2 tight ends in tight. Perez hands it off here to number 4, and he's actually going to be met behind the line of scrimmage. Kalen Balaj there. Okay, I got his name now, so we're good. Had some really nice runs earlier, but he was stuffed there. 2nd and 6 for Arlington. As they get in the huddle there. Break huddle. Perez again barking. Hey, telling Balaj, you need to be on my right. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Perez, a lot of early movement, and yep, they are going to blow it. Thought they were going to let it keep going, so that's another flag. So we've seen, 3 or 4 flags here on this opening drive. I mean, I thought this was the league that said there wouldn't be many flags, but I guess there's only so much they can do when it's false start or offsides. That's the Renegades' 13th false start of the year. And the clock continues to run. That's what the UFL rules. 2nd and 11 here for Arlington. At the 33, Perez in the shotgun. Throws it over the middle. It's caught by number 80. Again, a very favorable spot. What in the world? That far ref giving the Renegades an extra yard. I don't know what in the world. So 3rd and 4 here for Arlington. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I'm just saying that ref is not exactly spotting it well. Just gave him a free yard. 3rd and 4 at the 26. Perez back to pass. He's throwing it down the right sideline. It is caught. Touchdown. But I believe he stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds prior to making the catch. And that is going to be called back. So at the moment, there is a touchdown, but I think they're going to take it away. So they are going to look at it. They're saying if he reestablished immediately, Mike Pereira is looking at it. Okay, so they are saying again, if you're the first one, if you're blocked out of bounds, you cannot be the first one to touch. So they're going to call it off here. No touchdown, illegal touching. Fourth and 4 at the 23 will be the call. So, yes, he was pushed out of bounds, and nothing doing. Nothing doing for Arlington now. So they have to settle for 3. Again, hopefully I can get the stats here. It'll just look so much better if there's stats. There we go. Or we can do the play-by-play. There we go. All right, the 44-yard attempt is actually going to be blown off. There's some more stoppages of play here. Okay, so again, I do apologize. They don't know what's going on. 4th down. All right, 4th and 4. All right, so we're just gonna, I guess, assume get along with this. Get on with the with how it's going here. So 4th and 4 here. And they are going to, I guess, reattempt this field goal. I believe it was a 44-yarder. It is, 44-yarder. Again, just a lot of stoppage of play right now. What are we doing? We're just showing the players walking around. All right, Lucas Havrasik is 8 for 9 on the year, longest of 47. So solid, I would say, all around. Here's a 44-yard attempt in the middle of the field. And it's up. And he pulls it to the left. It's no good. Wide left. Pretty decent drive there. Had a potential touchdown, so they were up 7-0. Then it's called away because of the touching penalty. You thought you had 3, but now you have nothing. So just like that, 0-0. As they had to commercial break, 0-0. Again, if you are a first-time visitor, this is what I do. Obviously, I've been doing a little more baseball games because it's baseball season. But, we're going to give this a shot and definitely looking forward to football season later down the road. But if this is your thing, hit that subscribe button. Again, I cover as many random games as possible. And this is pretty much what I do. Usually, again, with baseball, I definitely have a little more established community there. And the chat would definitely be a little more active wherever the chat is. I don't know. But yeah, no, you feel free to comment in the chat. I would read it because there's no one really chatting. The chat's not going to be blowing up. So I definitely would be able to have a conversation with you if that's what you would like to do. Just talk about whatever you'd like. Talk about, again, what's going on in the sports world. Talk about what's going on in the game. Whatever you'd like. But for now, I will just sit here by myself That's essentially what this is. So a 7-minute and 57-second, we can call it an 8-minute drive there for Arlington. Again, just only they were looking really well. 11 plays, 42 yards. Okay, it's not the greatest, but they were moving the ball. Again, there's a lot of penalties there. But Perez, 3 for 4, 22 yards. Again, kind of short, safe passes. Again, the FAR referee, I don't know what she was doing. She was not spotting it really well at all, to be honest with you. In fact, I probably can move my camera back because I thought that. That's what we'll do. We'll move this camera. And what we'll do is we're going to put the ticker right here. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. All right, anyway. But anyway, yeah, so we are back. So Max Duggan is your starting quarterback for tonight. For St. Louis. It had been Manny Wilkins, but Duggan is going to be your quarterback. So Duggan is going to get the ball close to midfield, I think. Oh, no, not quite. At the 34. 34 of Arlington. All right, in the shotgun is Duggan. 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Duggan back to pass. Throws to his left. It's caught at the 41. Breaks away and gets the first down and a little bit more. Duggan saying, yes, sir. That was a great catch and run. Way to break the tackles. All right, Sailors, again, a big star player for St. Louis. He is a beast whenever he gets the ball. And then Hakeem Butler, also a UFL stud, actually tried out for the Steelers. Did not make the team, but was pretty cool to see him in preseason. First attempt at the 45. Hands it off here to Sailors. Sailors powering forward, still on his feet, but unable to get much. He will get 2 or 3. St. Louis, again, they are more of a running team, but maybe with Max Duggan, they will have a little bit more of the passing. I'm not too sure. He does like running. He did like running a lot in college. He was a Heisman runner-up in 2022. That's pretty cool. 7th-round pick. I did not know he was a Heisman runner-up. 2nd and 6, so they gave him 4. Duggan back to pass. Duggan scrambling to his right, facing heavy pressure. Throws. It is nearly intercepted by multiple Arlington Renegade players. Was trying to find the lone St. Louis Battlehawk, but it may have been a little dangerous, but it was definitely exciting. So, yeah, showing the replay here, Duggan facing heavy pressure and just kind of launching it down the field, rolling to his right. Honestly, very fortunate to not throw that one into Arlington hands. Very fortunate. All right, 3rd and 6 at the 49. They need to get to the opposite 45 for a brand new set of downs. Duggan back to pass in the shotgun. Throws. It is batted out of bounds. Incomplete. So it looks like St. Louis will punt. Really tight coverage. He was definitely on him. Trying to do the stop route, it looks like, as number 1 was just breaking as if to go, but 20 read it really well. Pardon me. I tried to take a nap earlier, could not. All right, so 4th and 6 here for St. Louis, and they are going to punt. And here's the punt. Booming punt. It's going to bounce at the 5, and he's unable to save it. Good effort, though. So that one goes out of the end zone for a touchback, and they'll get the ball at the 25. So with 4:35 left to go, it is still 0-0. Again, if this is what you like, hit that subscribe button. I'm not too sure there's anyone else here, to be honest with you, but we're still going to finish this game because it's football. Football is fun. So again, 0-0 at the 4:35 mark in the first quarter. Arlington had a pretty neat drive, but it kind of stalled out. They had the potential touchdown, and then that was taken away. Missed the field goal, or they actually made the field goal, but then they took a timeout, but not really a timeout because they were trying to challenge the catch. And that was weird. And then they missed the field goal. And then, of course, St. Louis had the ball for maybe about 5 or 6 plays, 4 plays. Had a first down, but, just kind of stalled out there. And that's pretty much where we're at. Again, if this is your thing, you definitely hit that subscribe button. If you like sports, this is what you got to do. This is your channel. Also, feel free to comment down below. I definitely read all comments. Why? Well, it's not exactly the most lively channel. Not exactly going to have a bunch of people here chatting. So I'll be able to read your chat if you want to talk about whatever you'd like to do. Yeah, and again, if you're one of my normal viewers, I know it's not baseball, no. Giving the UFL a shot, seeing how that can, hopefully this will help out the NFL scene later down the road. But again, it is 0-0 with 4:35 left to go in the first quarter. Arlington had the ball for quite a bit of time in the to start off the game, but again, it didn't really lead to anything. As we finally work our way back, as they go through the commercials, and the Fox robot droid, whatever, football player, that's kind of iconic. I wonder where that concept came from. I'd have to look that up. They're showing the, it's not quite NBC, but the NBC it there of that GoPro or whatever, of him in first person trying to, they got the camera right here on his chest. All right, 1st and 10 here for Arlington at the 25. So it's actually saying Arlington. Was Arlington favored? I thought it said St. Louis was the favorite, but on here it's saying Arlington was the favorite. I don't know about that. All right, 1st and 10 here. Luis Perez in the shotgun. Receivers to the left, receiver to the right. He's going to hand it off here to number 17, trying to find some space. He does fight for about 2. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 8. All right, 2nd and 8 here in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Perez back to pass. Looking, moving to his right, throws. It is caught at the 30. No, pardon me, at the 26. He's going to lose a yard. That was a great tackle there by St. Louis. Good pressure, forcing Perez to move. Not exactly the most mobile guy, and he actually dinked and dunked it there and lost a few. So it's 3rd and 10 now for Arlington. Again, a very impressive opening drive, but the second drive isn't as successful, at least as of now. It's only been 2 plays, but it could just be 3 plays. 3rd and 10 here, and I hear whistles. That might be a timeout. And that is indeed going to be a timeout. Looks like they got the play in late. So they're going to head to commercial break with 3:26 left in the first quarter. 0-0. Again, a battle between 2 teams that are 3-2. If you look at the standings here, I mean, kind of a close, tight-knit league. You know, both teams, again, 3-2. Arlington, actually, again, they defeated St. Louis 30-15 in week 4. And that was literally me just looking up to see what their schedules were. So Arlington in the driver's seat as of now in that division. Not necessarily DC, but Arlington ahead of St. Louis based on the head-to-head, but also in conference record. Apparently they are 2-1 in conference, whereas St. Louis is 1-2. So commercial break here again. It's an okay game so far. Not much happening, to be honest with you. Arlington did have a touchdown that was called back due to him stepping out of bounds and catching it. And then they kicked a field goal. He made it, but they were blowing the whistle as the snap was being, made. And then they actually kicked the field goal and he missed. So very unfortunate for Arlington. Had 7, then went to 3, and then they walked away with 0. But if this is your thing, guys, hit that subscribe button. Again, if you're a first-time visitor or, you're not subscribed or you are subscribed, feel free to comment in the chat below. I don't mind talking to you about whatever you want to talk about the game. You want to talk about what's going on around the sports world with that little ticker I have for you. You can talk about whatever you'd like. I'm a Steelers fan. You can probably tell. Maybe. I don't know. There you go. Steelers fan. So if you're a Steelers fan, or even if you're a Steelers hater, we can have dialogue in the chat. I'm sure we can disagree whether we're a Steelers fan or agree whether we're Bengals Ravens fan. I'm sure we can find common ground or just have a good old time as we're working our way back here to St. Louis. I believe it was a 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 for Arlington. They're trying to get that call, but I guess there were some communication issues. I'm not too sure. They just show players randomly happy, I don't know, from across the league. That's kind of weird. All right, 3rd and 10 here. And they still aren't quite. Okay, there we go. We're in the huddle. We are working our way back to action as I'm just rambling in between because there's nothing going on in between. Loud crowd here in St. Louis. They miss their football. They miss the St. Louis Rams, I can tell you that. 3rd and 10 at the 26. They need to get to the 35. So I guess it's a 3rd and long 9. Throws. It is caught down the right sideline at the 40, and he kind of fell down as soon as he caught it. I don't know if he's injured or not. So we're going to show the replay here. Number 14 beats him outside, and then he kind of stops right there. And, it just makes a nice little adjustment as the throw might not have been that great, to be honest with you. All right, so 1st and 10 here for Arlington. Winstead, 21 catches, 215 yards. 1st and 10 at the 41 in the pistol. Pettis hands it off to Balaj, and he's at the 45, tackled at about the 46, 47-yard line. Kalen Balaj wasn't exactly the most successful NFL player, but I can tell you he looks like a beast out here, and that's just the way it is. You look good against players that aren't exactly NFL talent. That's why, you're like, why is he so good at college but he fails the NFL? Well, everyone is a beast in the NFL. College, you might have some beasts all around the team, but, not everybody from Alabama or Georgia makes the NFL. Pettis hands it off here in the pistol, and he's powering forward, and he is stopped at around the 50. So I'd say it's going to be 3rd and about 1 for Arlington. They are hurrying it up here. Pettis is now under center. Hands it off to Balaj. He powers forward. He's going to get it and a little bit more as he gets to about the 47. In St. Louis territory. So again, Arlington looking like their first drive again was a lot. They had the ball for a while, pushed it into St. Louis territory here. They're moving the ball well. Looks kind of shaky with the 3rd and 10. Pettis in the pistol. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And we have a stoppage of play. And it is a flag. They're actually going to back them up 5 here. False start for Arlington. So 1st and 15 coming up for Arlington as, again, that's 4 penalties. And I kind of find it, if anyone's a Arlington Renegade, Dallas Renegade, whatever fan, that the logo they use has a D in it. They're still using the Dallas. I don't quite understand it. 1st and 15 at the 48. Pettis back to pass. Looking, throws it down the left side, and it is way out of bounds. Incomplete. And we have a late flag as the receiver, the hat is down, so that means he stepped out of bounds. But we had a very late flag there. A lot of pushing and shoving there at the end as we have a zebra conference. So it's going to be pass interference on the defense. Just listening into the conversation. Very grabby there. Again, a lot of pushing there at the play, and the receiver was looking for a flag. But again, also, he stepped out of bounds. 2 fouls, both on the defense. Pass interference on the defense. That's declined. Personal foul. Roughing the passer is the one that's going to be enforced. So let's see this roughing call. And, oh my gosh. I can't even believe that. So he just got bopped in the head. So I wasn't aware the UFL was like the NFL in that regard. I thought they didn't have that. That's pretty cheap. Anyway, 1st and 10 at the 37. That's pretty lame. Pettis back to pass. Play action. Looking to throw deep, but now he is hit, and there's a fumble. There's a scrum for it. They're still fighting for it. No whistles have been blown. The clock is still running. We have no whistle blown. This is going to be the end of the first quarter. And we have a St. Louis recovery with 2 seconds left in the first quarter. Arlington was moving. Again, they kind of got a lucky break on the penalty. But St. Louis with a sack, forced fumble, and that's going to give St. Louis the ball back. And, yeah, there's just... Pettis is already asking for another hit to the head. I mean, again, he hits him in the chest. He probably did hit a little bit of the face mask, but it's such a garbage thing anyway. It really is. I mean, just the whole. Hey, Draven, how's it going? How's the stream going? Seen the Pirates game. To be honest, I really haven't looked at the Pirates score. The stream's okay. Obviously, I think I'm the only one here. But it is what it is. So I try to get some, maybe some football fans for this upcoming year. Hopefully the baseball subscribers that I have are football fans for this fall. But it's okay. I'm going to get going up against Jaguar again. He's calling the game, and I figured he'd be calling it. So I don't know. There's just a lot of the UFL kind of hate this rule of the helmet thing. Yeah, so they called a 15-yard penalty on a guy. Again, they just bopped him on the head with the quarterback. That just bothers me. I hate how the NFL soft. I thought the UFL was a little bit different, but apparently they're the same. And they actually challenged it there, hit him in the head, but they're actually going to. So, again, he got hit in the head again. Technically, same rule, but they're not even. Hits him in the head, but now they're like, what the heck? He gave me the call earlier. I don't know. Again, it's that rule. That shouldn't be a thing. Shouldn't be a thing. So anyway, but yeah, the stream's going okay again. Not going to be the most popular guy tonight again, as there's other bigger YouTubers streaming or doing this game, but it's okay. But now I didn't know about the Pirates game, to be honest with you. I'm glad I just decided to do this one, because that would have been kind of awkward. Hopefully, I guess I'll see it on the score bug. I don't know. Didn't even know about that. All right, 1st and 10 here for St. Louis at the 44. In the shotgun is Max Duggan. He's going to hand it off here to Sailors. Sailors actually isn't going to get anything, really. Maybe a yard, which is kind of shocking because Sailors is really good with the football in his hands. And we're going to take it down to the end of the first quarter. Your score is still Arlington 0, St. Louis 0. But Draven, how have you been, man? How's your day today? Did you play any of that game? You play that game that I don't remember what it is, but you seem to always be playing it every time. But all right, just some stats here for everyone, the whole world that's watching. Arlington, again, they've controlled this game for football season. Are you going to upload VODs of like game highlights or just stream the games? So I don't know if you know much about Urinating Tree or Barry. I won't say the last name for Barry because it's kind of gross. It's kind of funny. But no, they kind of do that. They do like the little review. They do like a minute of each game and they talk about the game. I've thought about it, to be honest with you. I just don't know if I'll have the time to do it because my life will probably be a lot more busier as well in the fall. I'm trying to clear the Sundays. I was playing Rainbow Six earlier, but decided to watch the Pirates game. I gotcha. Okay, so it's in the bottom of the third down. Unless, again, it might be postponed. I just saw it on the ticker. I'm thinking about it, man. If I'm able to get it, I'm not that great with the editing. I don't have all the magic tricks and all that can make a really neat video. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying. Again, I do have a video that I have some footage of. It's going to be about the Steelers and their last few playoff games. That'll be interesting when I can finally actually get that going, but I don't know. It's a good question, man. I should. It would be good to stream the games, but also, again, you're right, to do like a weekly weekly review, like how Barry does and Urinating Tree, they do it. But I don't know if I would get the traction. But again, I should try. I mean, that's how you start. It's really going to boil down to time. Will I have the time to do it? Again, I'm not really good at it, so it's going to take a lot of time. So I don't know. We'll see. That's a good idea. I've thought about it, but I never really seriously considered it. Give it a shot. Maybe. I don't know. I can't promise anything, but we'll see. We'll see. But we are at commercial break. If anyone's popping in here like, what the heck are you talking about, Doctor? Well, I'm trying to just keep the conversation going, talking with Draven. Draven, appreciate you as always. It's 0-0. It's an okay game. Arlington's kind of dominated. Obviously, you can look at the time of possession, but no points to really brag about. Also, again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I think you should. It's free for one, but two, again, if you like sports, this is the channel for you as I live broadcast or do play-by-play reactions for the games that I watch, which, again, baseball. I've been doing baseball. Obviously, it's baseball season, but football, plan on doing that in the fall as the Battlehawks will begin here the second quarter at the 46. 2nd and 8. In the shotgun is Duggan. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Duggan hands it off here to Sailors. Sailors has some space. Brought down at the 50. Tackled from behind. Kind of, again, shocking. He's really dangerous with the ball in his hands. As they show the Knights of Colombo, the offensive line for St. Louis. 146 rushing yards a game, 32 attempts, 9 rushing touchdowns. They are Mark Colombo, the offensive line coach for St. Louis, former offensive lineman. I was going to say guard, but I think he's a tackle. But I'm not. I'm just going to say offensive lineman. 3rd and 4 here for St. Louis in the shotgun. Empty set, actually. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Duggan throws to his right. It is caught at the 41 as he steps out of bounds for a St. Louis first down. Nice little play there. Working his way across the field. Duggan looking and firing to number 8. Again, I don't really know the names. I will try to get them and memorize them as soon as possible. Jackson with the catch. 1st and 10 at the 41. In the shotgun is Duggan. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Duggan, play action. He's throwing it long down the right sideline. It is caught by Butler. Did he get both feet in? They're saying no, he did not. Oh, man, that was a great catch, but I don't think. Let's go ahead and look at the replay here. I see. Hold on 1 second, Draven. Makes the catch. 1. Oh, 2 might have gotten in. I'm not too sure. 1. Oh, yeah, no, he did step out of bounds. Good eye there. So I believe this is 2nd and 10, if I recall. I can't. I have brain damage. 2nd and 10 here. Duggan back to pass. Oh, facing heavy pressure. Oh, and he's sacked. Oh, man. Just piled on. So that's a loss of about 7 or 8. Wait, was it the Battlehawks that had draft night on Sanders? My friend said something about if he doesn't work out in the NFL, like first shot at. No, it was a CFL team. I couldn't tell you which CFL team. It wasn't the UFL though. The CFL claimed him or something like that. But I'm pretty sure if he wanted to sign with the UFL, he could. 3rd and 17 now for St. Louis. Duggan back to pass. Duggan is once again sacked. Holding the ball, retreating, and that gave enough time for the edge rushers there to make their voices heard. So it's back-to-back sacks for a once promising drive, and that's going to bring out the punting unit for St. Louis. Yeah, I couldn't tell you which Canadian team it was, but it was the CFL. I remember seeing that report too. But again, I feel like, if he wanted to sign with the UFL over the CFL, he could. You might be right, actually. Maybe the UFL did claim something, but I heard about the CFL. All right, here is the punt. And fielded at the 12. Makes a guy miss, but he's tackled almost immediately at about the 13, 14-yard line. Cap with the tackle. So 11:33 left in the second quarter. It is 0-0 Renegades Battlehawks. Again, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I do call these games. This is my 3rd UFL game, which I should do more, but again, weekends are a little more difficult to get off and have free time, really. But I'm making sure I'm free for this fall for football. If you're a baseball fan, I've been doing baseball games throughout the week. I won each of the last 3 days, so it's been a really good stretch there of been able to make that happen. And again, don't be a stranger. Comment down below. It makes it a lot more enjoyable whenever someone's able to chat and talk while I'm calling the game. It just makes the energy better for me. Like when I'm calling a game, I usually like to have someone with me. Like I love to have a color guy. Well, obviously you don't have a color guy, so the chat is pretty much my color guy. And just makes it a little bit more enjoyable. But again, hit that subscribe button. I don't think you'd regret it. And if you're wondering, I don't know, it is free. I promise. There will be no charge, no bill sent to you whatsoever. But again, Renegades 0, Battlehawks 0. Arlington, I would say looks better of the two teams, but, again, they haven't been able to finish drives. The first drive had the potential touchdown. That was taken away. Then they kicked a field goal, but no, the coach wanted to throw a challenge on the touchdown, so that field goal was nullified, and then they actually kicked the field goal, and he misses it wide left. St. Louis wasn't able to do anything. Then Arlington again, moving down the field, taking some time off the clock, and then they have a fumble. Quarterback is strip sacked, and there was some controversy there. The play previously, incomplete pass, but he was bopped on the head, so 15-yard penalty, the stupidest penalty in the world. And then it happened again on his way to getting, he was strip sacked about a second later to when he was bopped on the head. He was crying about it, Luis Perez. But didn't get the call, so a lot of controversy there. Debating on if I will do tomorrow's UFL game. Unsure. That'll be at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. I don't know if you guys will be awake out there on the West Coast. We'll see. All right, so Arlington here with it. First and 10 at about the 14. Again, Arlington won the previous matchup between these two teams 30-15 just a few weeks ago. Perez in the pistol. Man in motion, hands it off to Balaj, and Balaj is only going to get a yard. Balaj has started off really strong this game, but nothing doing there on first down. Cruz tied for steals in the league, and Tatis left the game early. Really? Hit by pitch? I guess it was probably in the hand or something, or hopefully it's okay. I like Tatis, Fernando Tatis, man. I'd love to see him in a Pirates uniform, but Cruz has been dominant, man. Has he been caught stealing it? I don't think he has. 2nd and 9 here for Perez and the Renegades in the shotgun. Perez back to pass, stepping up, throws, almost intercepted as he was hit as he threw. But it falls incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 9 coming up for the Renegades at the 15. Man, I'm ready for football season. I can't wait for one, obviously Saturdays and Sundays and, the other college games. But, I get to call for the local high school here, and it's so much fun. I have my broadcast partner going across. It is literally the greatest job. If only I were paid more. Not much. $50 a game. 3rd and 9. Perez back to pass. He's going to check it down. Balaj makes a nice catch, but the throw was a little off, and that's going to cause the St. Louis Battlehawks to close in there and make the tackle. Had it been a clean throw, Balaj might have been able to make something happen, but nothing doing there, so it's going to be 4th down. No, they said he's the only one who has. Yeah, he's tied me the belly. The belly. He's tied the belly. Are you talking about Ellie? Ellie and Luis Roberts. That's going to be punted here to St. Louis. He's at the 25, 30, 35. Hit hard at the 39. Call the high school games. Yeah, I call them for this website. I'm not the PA announcer, but I do broadcasting for this one website. And the radio station I work at, they're actually trying to get me to be the color guy for them for this other high school. I don't want to be color, though. I told them I'm not a color guy. I can only do play-by-play. I've tried color. I gave it a fair shot. I can't do it. I have to be – I know it's very egotistical. We do have a flag here on Arlington. So I know it's kind of like a jerk move here, but I have to be talking. I have to be the one describing. I don't know. I know it's kind of a jerk thing, but I got to be play-by-play. I got to be. Ellie, yeah. Ellie's also I just wish we had some of these other players, man. Even then, I feel like the Pirates would just get in their own way. All right, so it's going to be Battlehawks ball at the 44, thanks to the, I believe, illegal contact penalty, I believe. So Battlehawks, despite looking like clearly the team that does not look all that great, they have a chance to take the lead here. So they're going to have favorable field position at the 44, their own 44, which, again, only 56 yards. But yeah, Arlington with 14 minutes of possession. St. Louis only with 6. Now, again, they have had one more possession. Total plays run, again, it's just been kind of a one-sided thing. 21 plays for Arlington, averaging 3.2 yards a play. St. Louis, 10 plays, 17 yards. So not really a great game, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest, if this were like week 10 of the NFL season, I'd be like, yeah, this is probably the worst game I've seen. But the advantage of this is the fact that there's no football going on right now, and I'm so desperate for football right now that this is a great game to me. This is how it is. I always wanted to play catcher, but I'm a lefty. Oh, that's tough, man. Oh, man. You should have been ambidextrous, you know. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm a righty, and I try to do things lefty, and it's like a whole nother, like, I don't even know. I feel like I'm an idiot. So that's tough, man. Being told you can't play a position because you're a lefty. And, yeah, I don't know if there is a lefty catcher. I can't think of one. There's no lefty third baseman either. Or shortstops, I don't think. All lefties on the infield are going to be first or second. So we're working our way back here. As they kind of just showing the circle of parity. Everyone has beaten somebody. The Brahmas beat DC. Really? Wow, the Brahmas are literally 1-4, and DC is 4-1. So the only win for the worst team in the league was against the best team in the league, and of course the best team's only loss was against the worst team in the league. So the circle of parity, and this league is very tight. That's pretty cool. All right, 1st and 10 here for St. Louis. At the 45, under center is Duggan. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Duggan passes backwards to Jackson. Jackson moving. He's at the 35, reversing field. He's actually just going to take it and run. Gets about 3. Thought there might have been like a wide receiver pass option there. And I think that was the goal, but he had to just pretty much scramble across the entire field. And he gets about 3. Last name Jackson, number 8 too. That's it looks like Lamar there, maybe a little bit, maybe a little blasphemous to Ravens fans, but that's fine. I mean, they're a rival. I don't care. 2nd and 7 here, Duggan. RPO here. He takes the ball. He's across the 50, past the 45, brought down at about the 44. So that's a St. Louis first down. Blake Jackson. Okay, so they did it last week, and he actually is, wow, he threw a 60-yard touchdown to Hakeem Butler. So maybe it's not so blasphemous at all. Maybe Lamar can learn a little bit here. All right, 1st and 10 here for St. Louis. Oh, no, they did not give him the first down. He's actually a few yards short. 3rd and 1. So they respotted it, but then they respotted again, and they're going to give him the first down. I don't understand. The referees have been kind of iffy tonight. So there we go. So it is a first down now for St. Louis. Went from a first down to 3rd and 1. Now it's at a first down. 1st and 10 here for St. Louis. In the pistol is Duggan. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Duggan hands it off here. No, he's going to keep it on the RPO. He's at the 40, pushed out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. So they've ran the RPO the last 2 plays, and Duggan's looking really good on the ground. Duggan was like this in college, a lot more of a running quarterback. As a passer tonight, 2 for 5, 20 yards. As a runner, I will get those stats. So I think it's just the 2 rushes there in the last few plays. 2nd and 5 here for St. Louis. Duggan under center. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Duggan, play action, back to pass. Looking, Moving to his left, now moving to his right. Now he's going to take off. He's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Oh, he tackled at the 1. I thought he got in the end zone, but he did not. He was hit hard at the end as he is leading his team down inside the 5. Again, that's going to be about at the 2 or 1. I thought he fumbled it, to be honest with you, but that was a drone. What the freak was a drone doing there? But crazy play. Moving to his left, to his right. They're going to hurry up here now as they're cutting late to action. I believe they may have gotten a yard there. TCU GOAT. Yes, the TCU GOAT, Max Duggan. Former national championship runner-up, I guess. All right, so it's about 2nd and 1. That was a great – that was awesome. All right, so Duggan and the team at 2nd and goal. They're going to have to take a timeout. There's only 2 seconds left, and they are indeed going to take a timeout for St. Louis. Duggan with a crazy, 40-yard run? I need to get the can I get you – what the heck? Why does it take me to that? Duggan. No, that's Renegades. Oh, my gosh. All right, 37-yard run there by Duggan. That was amazing. Scrambling to his left, moving to his right, and then taking off and putting the Battlehawks inside the 5. That was an amazing play. If you guys watch the game highlights later, you will see that play for sure. That one was fantastic. All right, so 6:30 left in the second quarter. It's still 0-0 as they head to commercial break. Again, Arlington is, I would say, again, they've been the better team so far, but St. Louis had that short field position, and it looks like they're going to take advantage of it, at least with 3. Of course, that could be jinxing them. Draven, did you play any college football in 25, just out of curiosity? Because I'm probably going to get 26. And I don't know. I have this idea. I might start my own league because I was part of a league with some buddies, but I don't know. My schedule might be a little off with theirs. I don't know. I'm just throwing out some feelers. It'd be pretty cool. If not, it's cool. It's not a big deal. Gavin Sheets homered and Bogarts RBI to center, and for the Pirates, Reynolds hit a single for Cruz to score, so we're down 2-1. Okay. Well, I don't know. The Padres are a good team. I'm not really expecting too much tonight. And if you're just joining us, it is commercial break, so you can hate on me in the comments. It's fine with you. Fine with me. Fine with you. Fine with me. Also, if you are a first-time visitor, definitely hit that subscribe button. This is what I do. I call random games. This is the game on tonight. It's UFL, my 3rd UFL game of the season. I try to cover as many as I can, but weekends are really tough for me. Yes, I haven't played the game I haven't. Oh, you have 25 in. Oh, days. Okay, that might actually be more than me. I thought I played a lot. I just haven't played in the last month. I just got burned out, I guess, from all the dynasties. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing it. Thinking about doing my own league, if possible. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, 2nd and goal here for St. Louis. At the 1, Duggan in the shotgun. High snap, handled well. Hands it off to Sailors, and he is met behind the line. Pushes forward, but he is tackled at the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing there for the Battlehawks as it's 3rd and goal now at the 1. Huddling up here. I was free for a minute, so I grinded Ultimate Team. Yeah, I have another buddy. He's another friend I would have, and he moved off from Dynasty to Ultimate Team. I just don't really do that much. Duggan, fade to the end zone. It is incomplete. Batted well. Butler, the former Steeler, the intended receiver. Butler, the training camp stud for the Steelers. But some great defense bats it away. Not really a good throw by Duggan. That needs to be on the outside shoulder. That is inside. So it made the Renegades' job really easy there. Again, Duggan, not really a great passer. Duggan is more of a running quarterback. So we're and you'll see it there. You'll see it on those throws. 4th and goal here. They are going for it in the shotgun. Duggan back to pass. Throws over the middle. It is batted away. Incomplete as Butler looks for a flag, but nothing doing there. So that is a turnover on downs. I question that. You definitely got to take the points in a defense. I wouldn't say a defensive battle, but no one scored. You got to take the points. 0-0 here, 5:13 left to go in the second quarter. But for Dynasty, I rebuilt New Mexico, Iowa, Utah State, and Navy. Navy was the most fun. So actually, me and my buddy, I was Navy and he was Army, and yeah, Navy kind of ran that one, you know. Navy was the number one team for the most part. I hated playing Notre Dame every year, so I kind of rigged. I ended up moving Navy to the Big Ten, and then he wanted to go to the Big 12, so I put Notre Dame in the Big Ten, and that's how I got around that. And then we created like a super league because, again, it was kind of getting easy. I don't know. But, yeah, no, it was fun. Navy was the most fun ultimate team for sure. I actually stopped doing the Kennesaw State one. There's actually, like, you see the VODs from Twitch on my channel if you look down. It's not worth looking at. It's just literally 3 hours of streaming, and it's kind of boring. That was fun. I just stopped doing it. You know, I just got kind of discouraged. But Renegade 0, Battlehawks 0. Battlehawks had it at the 2. They go for it at the 2 on 4th down. Nothing doing there. I disagree with the call. They should have taken the points. And that's where we're at, 0-0. Despite the offense, if you look at the yards per play, you're going to be like, well, this game kind of sucks. And to be fair, you're right, actually. If this were a Week 10, Week 12 NFL game, I would be right there with you. But the fact that I don't really get to watch much football right now because there's no football on other than this, I'm like, this is awesome. This is football. We love it. But you can definitely see the quality of play is very poor. Again, Arlington with 14 minutes of possession. They look like they are the better team somewhat, but they're not able to finish drives. Meanwhile, St. Louis, last few drives have heated up a little bit. And again, they got down to the 2 thanks to a great play by Duggan. But also Duggan was the reason they couldn't score there with a very poorly placed ball at the goal line. And then that throw at the 4th down was batted. So, I mean, I don't know if I can be really too mad on that 4th down one. But the 3rd down one, he places it on the outside shoulder. That is 6 points there for sure. All right, we are back here. Arlington is going to get the ball at the 2 of their own territory. So they got 98 yards, so maybe the drive part 3 here, but UFL style. Now you can just say the UFL drive or something like that. I don't know. Probably not happening, though. I don't think Luis Perez is like John Elway, but again, he is playing against players that aren't NFL players. So I guess anything can happen. As they show everyone tired on the sideline. It's not they chilled the field. I mean, we were back. We're talking about what happened, but not showing what is about to happen. I hope Caleb Johnson gets around. I don't know about 1,400. That's a little bit. I would be. No, I don't think that'll happen. I don't even know if he. I mean, I think. Hold on one second. Luis Perez in the pistol. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off to Balaj. Kalen Balaj. He's going to get about 2 or 3. So 2nd and 7. So Jaylen Warren fumbles too much. That's my problem with him. I love him, by the way. I love Jaylen Warren. He's fantastic, but he fumbles like, what was it? Like once every like 29 carries or something like that. That's way too much. Or no, was it 40 carries? I don't know. Either way, it's too much. So I don't know. I still think it's probably going to be Warren running back 1. They might do a 50-50. I'm not too sure. So I don't know. 2nd and 6 here. Hands it off to Balaj, and he is stuffed right at the line. So it's still going to be about 3rd and 6 coming up for Arlington. Again, St. Louis has a really passionate fan base. They're trying to get loud here. It's not exactly a packed house, but you can tell St. Louis, they missed their St. Louis Rams. And I would say that if NFL does expand in the near future, St. Louis will probably get a team back. 3rd and 5 here at the 6.5. They need to get to about the 12. That is snaps, and there is a flag, and you can definitely say there's a flag as he definitely moved. Now, he did a really bad job blowing it dead because Luis Perez was sacked. He was hit. So that's going to back him up, I would say, half the distance. So probably about where it originally started, around the 2.5. So 3rd and 10 at the 2 coming up for the Renegades. Again, the Renegades started off first 2 drives. They were really great. Now, again, it's kind of like the momentum has switched. More than likely, unless he just shows out preseason. I would love for Johnson to overtake Warren. I don't know if that'll happen. 3rd and 10 here for Arlington. Perez back to pass in the shotgun. Moving to his left. Throws. And there might be. They're ruling it a fumble. Now they're saying it's incomplete. But they're going to have a talk here. Was that intentional grounding? Because there was nobody in the area. And he didn't even come close. That ball landed in the end zone when he threw it. So not even close to the behind the line of scrimmage. You could say there's a receiver about 15 yards down the field. What? Oh, they're saying that he was hit as he threw, so they're saying that the throwing motion was impacted when he was contacted. I don't really care for either team, but so they are going to reset the clock here back to 3:25. Marquette King's the punter? Really? That's cool. Marquette King, former Raider punter. He was a pretty good punter. Punter punts it away. At the 50, 45, 40, 35. Tackled at about the 33. So a nice 17-yard return there. Didn't really get had the distance, but the height was pretty low because that was quick. All right, so St. Louis is going to get great field position here at the 34. 1st and 10 at the 34. Duggan leading St. Louis. I'm not too sure what happened to Manny Wilkins. He was the original starter for St. Louis a few weeks ago, but Duggan is now in there. 1st and 10 at the 34. Duggan hands it off here to Sailors. Sailors makes a guy miss. Pushes forward. Still on his feet at about the 30 is where he's finally brought down. Gain of about 4. 2nd and 6 here for St. Louis. As they show the offensive coordinator there doing the walkie-talkie, I guess, communicating there via walkie-talkie. Arlington shows on here was favored by 1.5. The over-under was 42.5. As you can see, the score is 0-0, so the under should hit unless it's rigged and they make it happen to where everyone can score in the second half. Duggan back to pass on the 2nd and 6. Throws it down the left side. Oh, it's batted away. The pass was intended for Butler, but a nice play by Arlington. The Arlington defenders have been right there in step with these St. Louis receivers. I don't know if St. Louis receivers don't really have much speed or whatnot, but they are right on these guys. Canario walks with the bases loaded. Let's go. Let's go, Pittsburgh. So 3rd and 6 coming up, and we have the 2-minute warning. Renegades, Battlehawks tied at 0 apiece. Somebody will score, I think, in this one. as they head to commercial break. Again, these two teams 3-2 on the year. Arlington beat St. Louis earlier, 30-15. The other league, what else is happening around the league? Well, everyone's pretty much within a few games of each other, except for DC and San Antonio. But everyone else has either 3 or 2 wins. In fact, half the league is 3-2. So, I mean, I think I would say this league is pretty competitive for the most part. I don't even think I have Apple TV now that I think about it. I have Apple TV for MLS, but I haven't even watched a single MLS game. I did for the first week, and then I stopped to focus on this. Oh, well. But yeah, 0-0 here in St. Louis. I would say it's an okay. I don't know if it's I guess it's a defensive battle. I mean, I really think it's more bad offense, but and especially the quarterbacking in this one hasn't exactly been fantastic. Looking at the stats here, if you are questioning me, Luis Perez, Max Duggan, they're great, and hey, they are in their own way, I guess. But as a passer, they're not. As you see, Perez is 6 for 9 for 33 yards. That's 3.7 yards an attempt. And then Max Duggan is 2 for 8 for 7 yards. Now, I think that isn't actually counting sacks there. My bad. All right, Perez 6 for 9, 40 yards. That's a little bit better. 4.4 yards an attempt. And then Duggan is 2 for 8, 20 yards. So a little bit different there, but still not exactly the greatest. 2.5 yards an attempt. You would think that would be like a really bad fullback. But nope, that's your quarterback. And again, Duggan on the ground, 4 carries, 51 yards. He has been a difference maker there. Hakeem Butler, again, the former Steeler hopeful, 4 targets, 0 catches. Third and 6 here. First St. Louis at the 30. Duggan back to pass. Throws it to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, St. Louis Battlehawks. But there is a flag. So if it stands, it's going to be a touchdown for Hakeem Butler. We're just talking about him. 4 targets, 0 catches. But what do we have here? Offsides on the defense. So St. Louis opens up the scoring with a Max Duggan touchdown pass to Hakeem Butler. So that's huge. That's a 30-yard pass. So what will they do? Will they go for 1, 2, or 3? Again, I don't really like that personally. I don't like the 3. It's too weird. All right, they're going for 2. Duggan back to pass, facing heavy pressure. That's batted, and that's going nowhere. Incomplete. And that was a late chatter there by some of the linemen by both teams. So Max Duggan with a 30-yard touchdown pass to Hakeem Butler puts the Battlehawks up 6-0. I don't know why I said Hakeem. It's Hakeem. That was a nice throw. Maybe a little bit behind him, but again, it got the job done. Fantastic. Finally, again, like the defense of Arlington, he was right on him. It really, again, it was just, if it was actually a really good placed ball, it probably would have been batted away. All right, so 6-0 here in St. Louis as Arlington will once again get the ball back. All right, so we're about to resume once again. I guess they're running a little bit behind because they didn't cut the commercial there, thank goodness. All right, it's off. And that's going to land in the end zone for a touchback. Brock Heward, I think I remember him. This year, Hakeem Butler, only 3 catches, 154 yards. I don't know if he hasn't played. Butler's saying that he might have pushed off there. I like that. Butler, what is going on with him? I thought he would be game log. Let's look at the game log here. Oh, he's only played 2 games. Oh. So every catch he's made so far in this season literally has been a touchdown. 3 catches on the year, 3 touchdowns. That's insane. That's crazy. All right, Perez hands it off here to number 17, and he is spun around, loses a few yards, and that's where he'll be dropped. So it's going to be 2nd and long for the Renegades. All right, 2nd and 15 here at the 30. Perez back to, no, he's going to hand it off here. And he is hit-sticked again. He is taking some heavy hits there, number 17 of Arlington. And that's going to bring up about 3rd and maybe 8, 3rd and 9, not too sure. And again, the clock continues to run. I'm not too sure if they're trying to press the issue or not. 3rd and 8 at the 37. They need to get to the 45. Perez back to pass. In the shotgun, scrambling, moving up. But no, he is sacked by the big man, number 97, Mack. And St. Louis is going to call a timeout with 48 seconds left. I mean, I don't really understand the play calling there. I guess you were trying to eat the clock, see what happened there. St. Louis, though, has been playing tremendous defense. Same with Arlington. Really, it's been a really good defensive battle. These quarterbacks, again, not the greatest, but they haven't really had much time to do much. So that's going to send out, once again, Marquette King, the former Oakland Raider. Had about a 48-yard punt earlier, but 15 yards on the return kind of killed that impressive punt. Again, it was kind of a low punt. And here's King. It's this one, a lot more hang time. Fielded at the 17. He's at the 25-30, sliding to about the 33. And he's a little shaken up there. I think he took a shot there as he was sliding. As they cut away and they show the Battlehawk offense coming on the field. 37 seconds, so can he lead them into field goal range? St. Louis has to like where they are. Again, they started off the game really lethargic, but they currently have the lead as it's 6-0 with 37 seconds left. Again, the kicker for St. Louis, well, it's Rodrigo Blankenship, former Colt, so an NFL kicker on your team is always a good thing. Duggan back to pass, throws a little out route. It's caught, takes it inside at the 40, 45, spinning around, breaking tackles. Tackled at the 49. He broke a few tackles there, about 3 or 4. Stopping the clock. I guess it's going to be college rules. And we have a flag. That was Darby with the catch and run. Again, breaking many tackles. St. Louis actually calling timeout there, which is interesting because there's an Arlington Renegade on the ground. Now, they're actually not calling a timeout because, and they have an open mic because I hear these players for Battlehawks. They're excited and talking away, but So we have an injury timeout here. Again, Battlehawks up 6-0 with 29 seconds left. It's going to be 1st and 10 here. Near midfield, I don't recall the where we're at. That is going to be Chris Odom, actually hometown of Arlington, Texas. So that's pretty neat. Can't say he grew up always wanting to be an Arlington Renegade, but, you know, you can say he played for his hometown team. All right, so 1st and 10 here. As we resume play, Duggan in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. In the shotgun is Duggan. Back to pass. Throws over the middle. It's caught at the 41. He crosses the 40. Tackled at about the 38. As they hurry up here again. I guess they have that college-style thing where the clock stops. Oh, that's a terrible spot. The referee taking his sweet old time. There we go. He's at the 38. 22. Now the clock goes, and they're going to clock it with about 20 seconds left. So 2nd and 10 here for St. Louis. Again, they are up 6-0. They've looked really good in this one. As far as of late, I should say the first quarter, not so great, but the second quarter has really been all St. Louis. 112 yards this quarter. Arlington only with 4. And Arlington, all their yards, again, pretty much in the first quarter. If I can give you guys this, they have 67 yards. They had 65 in the first. Duggan back to pass. Throws. It's bad at the line. And that's going to be incomplete as we got a late shove. Oh, they got some more shoving. But I don't think there'll be any flags there, as Duggan is showing. They're showing the stats here. Max Duggan, 5 for 13, 79 yards. He does have a touchdown in this one, and then Max Duggan on the ground 4 for 51. Of course, that really big play, Hakeem Butler, 1 catch, 30 yards. Every time he's caught the ball this season, he scored a touchdown. He caught 2 passes in his, debut last week, and they were both touchdowns. And then in this one, again, another touchdown. So 3rd and 10 here as we have, I hear whistles. Okay, now we don't hear whistles. I think we have fake whistles going on in St. Louis. At the 38, Duggan back to pass. And it's going to be pump fake draw. Hands to Sailors. He gets to about the 31. 4th down, and I'm going to assume they're going to take their timeout here, their last timeout with about 2 seconds left. And that is exactly what they do at the 2-second mark. So 4th and 3 here, St. Louis is going to settle for 3, and that's not really a bad strategy. The problem is, again, that's still only 1 score in this league, which, again, is kind of freaky and kind of weird, and I don't like it, but that's just the way it is. Doctor, do I watch the Jets or Blues game or Iowa and Washington in baseball? Ooh. I know you like hockey, man, so I'd watch some hockey. But college baseball, that's pretty cool, too. I've actually thought about doing that if I don't know. I just feel like MLB's going to have more of a pool. If I'm you, man, I'd go ahead and watch hockey. You love hockey, you watch it. 4th and 3, here's the field goal by Blankenship. It's hooking, and it is good. So Rodrigo Blankenship, the former Colt, puts St. Louis up by 9 as we head to the half. So St. Louis with a slight lead at the half, 9-0 over Arlington. And I guess I get to chill for 15 minutes or so. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to, chat. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I leave. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Draven, if you're still here, I'll stay. But if not, I'm going to actually take a mini break. But I'll be back. Or now I might just stay. I don't know. Thing is, I don't know. I don't know what I'd be talking about. Yeah, you go ahead. Have a good rest of your stream. I'll check back. Well, we'll see. I mean, as you see, there's really not many people here. I do appreciate you stopping by, though, as always. I really do. Um, I do appreciate you. I really do. But yeah, man, have a good one. Hopefully the game is well. I don't really know who I'd cheer for in that one. Winnipeg or St. Louis. Let me actually look at the bracket. Ooh, it's okay. So it's 3-2. Winnipeg is up by. Okay, that's a good game, I would say. But yeah, I'll catch you later, man. I'll see you. I guess third, fourth quarter. Meanwhile, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Wonder how many people are watching Jaguar. Pre-tariff pricing. That's actually crazy. What a commercial. I don't want to be in studio. I just want to. Yeah, and feel free to chat about whatever you'd like. 40 people. Oh my gosh. Let me, just out of curiosity, I want to see what happens when I type in Battlehawks and Renegades. Do I even show up is the question. So you got that. You got Zom, Fox, UFL. This guy. I don't even show up. Where am I? Did I not do something right? No, I am. I'm just way down here. Oops. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Yeah, freaking Jaguar, dude. You're just a killer every time. You're a killer. You kill me. But you deserve it. You really you've been doing this for years. I've never heard of you, man. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Well, it's halftime, and I'm just weeping and coping, I guess. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Obviously, there's nothing going on now, so I'm just trying to find something to talk about. I could leave, but then what good does that do? Nothing. Other than make me look, oh, this guy sucks. Yeah, and I probably do. But definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new here. This is what I do. I cover random games. And today's random game is UFL. I really do try with football. Football will always be a love of mine. I would like to have some success, hopefully, this fall. Trying to build some baseball background here as I can. I do like baseball. I've been calling a lot of baseball games. So hopefully I can win over some of those guys as we head over to football season. But for now, I'm just yapping now. Also, again, if you're new here, feel free to chat away in that chat. I definitely enjoy seeing what you have to say. I like talking to Draven here in the chat. Which, he's going to watch the hockey game. But, I do enjoy everyone that stops by. I enjoy talking with you. It's always neat to meet new people. It's a Friday night. And, again, Jaguar streaming this game. I knew I was going to get killed in the ratings. It's just the way it is. But we're still going to give it a fair shot. So, I don't know. I guess I need to look at I don't know. I guess I need to figure out what type of hashtags I need to put in. But it is halftime here again. Battlehawks 9, Renegades nothing. Renegades really started off this game really well, but they really couldn't push it across. They had the first drive, which was almost a touchdown. They did score a touchdown, but then that was taken away. Then they kicked a field goal, but the coach stops it and says, no, I'll look at the touchdown again. And the ref said, no, you stepped out. You can't do it. And then they missed the field goal. So the Renegades kind of played themselves. Battlehawks didn't do anything on the next drive. The Renegades again driving, but then a fumble by Perez just kind of killed all the momentum. And I would say that was pretty much the last moment where the Renegades had any type of offense. For the most part, it's been all Battlehawks since. As we can look at some of the stats here, total drives, again, each team with 5 drives. Total plays are about the same. But if you look at the yards, that is the difference. Again, Max Duggan, not a great passer, and we can all say that. But as a runner, he has really helped out the team. He also does have the 30-yard touchdown pass in this one as well. So if he's hitting on the deep ball, then St. Louis could be pretty good. Again, yards per play, 2.5 for Arlington, 5.5 for St. Louis. Again, they were both in the red zone. I disagreed with the call earlier. St. Louis was inside the 5. Again, Duggan had a great run. That was a fantastic play there. But they went for it on 4th down when it was still 0-0, and that just made no sense. You got to take the points there. No one scored. So you're just playing with fire there. On the ground here for each team, Arlington, 6 rushes, 41 yards for 2.6 yards, and then St. Louis, 11 rushes, 77 yards for 7 yards. But, of course, that's probably a little bit deceiving, again, because Duggan had that 137-yard run. So you take that away, it's about 4 yards a carry. So that's still pretty solid, or at least better than Arlington's. And, of course, the one turnover by Perez has been the difference there in the turnover battle. Looking at the stats here for the Renegades, Luis is 6 for 9, 40 yards, so a lot of dink and dunking. I don't know if this is quarterback rating or QBR, but I really hope it's not QBR because, I don't know about that. Quarterback rating, I guess, of 76.2. I guess we'll find out if that ever goes above 100, if it's the ESPN QBR or not. Kalen Balaj, 9 carries, 30 yards. Hunter, 6 carries, 9 yards. Perez also with a 1 carry, 2 yards in this one. Again, the Renegades receivers, Winstead, 2 catches for 14 yards. Long of 15, I think that's pretty funny. Canella, 2 catches, 13 yards. Burnett, 1 catch, 9 yards. Balaj, 1 catch, 4 yards. And then on the defensive side of things, we have a half a sack by Thomas, a full sack by Taylor, another half a sack by Bledsoe. Passes deflected. They have a lot. I believe that is 7 passes deflected. I mean, they are playing fantastic defense. And again, look at that. I mean, those 7 passes deflected could be completions. He could be 12 for 13. Max Duggan, 5 for 13, 79 yards, 1 touchdown. Duggan, 4 carries, 51 yards. Again, that huge 37-yard run was a huge factor. Sailors, 6 rushes, 21 yards. Jackson, 1 rush, 5 yards. Receiving there for the Battlehawks, 1 catch, 30 yards to Hakeem Butler. 2 catches, 22 yards for Jackson. Darby, 1 catch, 16 yards. Pearson, 1 catch, 11 yards there. On the defensive side of things, 4 tackles for a loss, no pass deflections, which is, again, just a complete 180 from the defense there of Arlington. And they have 2 sacks, one by Tamupanu, I have really butchered that name, and Mack. But they have gotten in the backfield, 4 tackles for a loss. Have the Renegades done that? No, only 2. So, again, we'll see. They're going to come back from commercial break shortly. They just announced that one more commercial break, and we will have action for you the rest of the way. I knew I'd get killed in the ratings, but yeah, we got to give it a shot. We got to be consistent. We got to build the UFL. Did I not put UFL, to be honest? Yeah, I did. UFL Week 6. I did. Oh, well. It is what it is. We're just giving it a shot. All right, again, I don't know what to really talk about here. I'm just kind of yapping. Seeing our local elections, I imagine there's going to be a lot of local elections across the country. I don't think I'm going to vote. I don't really know, to be honest with you. Looking at the local commercials, Chinese cartels and the illegal vape trade. Okay, wow, wow. But again, there's really nothing going on. This is halftime. Battlehawks up 9-0 over the Renegades. The Renegades started off this game strong, but the Battlehawks, as of late, the last few drives have really looked good. Again, I do want to say, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't really seen anything, well, just pause and stay with me, and maybe you'll like what you see when I'm actually calling the game. Also, feel free to chat below. Draven did step away to watch some hockey, and that's perfectly fine. Definitely don't hesitate, though, to comment and just chat about whatever you'd like. I love talking with sports fans. Baseball streams are really fun, a lot more active there. As I've kind of developed a little bit of a baseball community there. That'll be fun. Hopefully that carries over for football in the fall. But again, just chat about whatever you like. I'm a Steelers fan. You can talk about the Steelers. You can talk about the Battlehawks. You can talk about the Rams. You can talk about whatever you'd like. Talk about whatever. I respond to all, as we are about to get started here in the third quarter. Again, the Battlehawks Renegades played a few weeks ago to where the Renegades had won 30-15. But different type of team here today. I think Max Duggan, this is his second start, to my knowledge. And, to be honest, that really hasn't impacted the offensive side of things. I don't know why the Renegades, the Renegades put up 30 points on this team just a few weeks ago, and today, 0 through the first half. All right, here's the kickoff. He's at the 20, 25, and he's hit hard, pushing forward still at the 30, and that's where he's going to be brought down. So here comes Max Duggan. Again, 5 for 13, 79 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Sailor, 6 rushes, 21 yards. And then, of course, Hakeem Butler, the 1 catch. But it's the difference maker in this one, as it's 1 catch for 30 yards. Duggan in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for St. Louis. Duggan, play action. He's throwing it deep down the left side, and it is incomplete. Intended for Butler, but that one was a few yards ahead of him and out of bounds. Again, really great coverage there by Arlington. They've been kind of just matched up really well. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's St. Louis just not being fast off the ball, if they're just not speedsters, but Arlington has pretty much locked these guys up. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 30. Duggan, play action. Steps, throws to his right side. It is in and out of the hands of number 2 of St. Louis. Incomplete. He had him. Throw might have been just a tad bit off. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and see this replay. Play action there. Throwing to the right. Duggan probably put a little bit too much on it. Darby slowed down a little bit too. Just unfortunate there as he had him wide open. All right, 3rd and 10 here for St. Louis in the shotgun. Duggan back to pass. Looking. Oh, no. Heavy pressure. And he's going down. And that's a sack. And that is Taylor. And that is, I believe, his 2nd sack of the night. So number 50 has had his way with that right tackle. And the St. Louis offensive line is pretty good. But tonight, it really looks like it's Arlington's defensive front. Again, it's a low-scoring game, 9-0, as St. Louis will punt it away. And there's the punt. Fielded at about the 29. He's at the 30. Makes a guy miss at the 35. And he's tackled at about the 36-yard line. So 3 and out there for the Battlehawks as we head to commercial break. Your score, Battlehawks 9, Renegades 0. Again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I know it's not exactly the most popular night as I'm going up against the big dogs tonight, Jaguar Gator. But we're giving it a fair shot. Let's try UFL Renegade Battlehawks. Maybe that'll... Yeah, I'm just going to not be up there. I don't know who Zom is, but they're showing the actual game there. Showing this guy. Super Sports Central, okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting killed. Rising Rhino. And down I go. Here I am. Jeez, just too far down. Just don't have the clout yet. No clout. No nothing. Oh, well. One day, huh? All right, Battlehawks again leading 9-0 over the Renegades. Again, Duggan is 5 for 15, but he did have a few big plays, and that's been the difference in this one. With the 30-yard touchdown pass, and of course that 37-yard scramble. That didn't lead to anything, but it was very impressive and definitely put them in good field position for the following drive to where they did finally score as they crashed out there at the goal line, and Renegades couldn't do anything, had to punt it away, and again, I gave St. Louis a really good field position. But again, it is 9-0 St. Louis leading Dallas. So I'm just going to chill here again until we come back, when I think we are coming back. As we show highlights of this game. That's what they're doing now. I really can. Nothing going on in the chat. Nothing going on just at all. And that's fair. I haven't really made my stamp in the NFL community yet. Or the football community as a general. So we got to do it. Got to do it somehow. And this is how you do it. All right. Arlington will have it at about the 37. Luis Perez in the shotgun. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Perez, play action. Throws it over the middle. It's caught. He's at the 50. Tackled at about the 46. So that's a pretty big play there to start off the drive. Again, Arlington had been pretty lethargic for the whole second quarter. And just like that, they get a bunch of yards there. That might have probably just equaled or passed their total of the second quarter. So play action there kind of brought up St. Louis, and there you go. You tack downfield. 1st and 10 here at the 36 in the shotgun. Luis Hands it off to Balaj. Balaj shoves off 2 players, 3 players. Finally brought down at the 43, but there is a flag. So we're just going to hold off there. Balaj is a little shaken up. This is going to be against... It's going to be against Arlington, a holding penalty. So I can't see nothing because of this thunderstorm warning, and that's perfectly fine. I'm just getting killed in the ratings tonight. Jaguar and apparently other people that I've never heard of are racking in all the viewers. That's perfectly fine here. Second, no, it's going to be first. First and 20 here at the 44 in the shotgun. Pettis hands it off here to number 17. He's going to only get a yard. Try to fool everybody with the run, but again, St. Louis has been really good tonight up front. So 2nd and 19 here for Arlington. As again, Balaj had been running okay. He had a really good start to the game. I guess St. Louis kind of figured him out. And as he is now on the sideline, he is in pain. They are having the mics there. I don't know why that was appropriate. That was not. 2nd and 18 here at the 46. Empty set here in the shotgun. Pettis back to pass. Throws to his right. It's caught at the 47. Try to pull a Deontay Johnson run backwards. He may have been tackled at the 48. I don't know. May have went to the 47. Who knows? As Anthony Beck, the St. Louis coach, is saying, hey, let's get you loud. And again, Pettis is covering his ear holes because it is loud in St. Louis. It's a very passionate fan base. And he did lose a yard there. It was caught at the 47. They're spotting it at the 48. So Deontay Johnson sighting here in St. Louis playing for Arlington. 3rd and 12 at the 48. They need to get to the 36. Pettis back to pass. Throws to his right. It is intercepted. Breaks the tackle at the 40. Pushed out of bounds at about the 46. St. Louis forcing Pettis to make a throw that he didn't want to make, and he is mad. I don't know if he's mad at himself or mad at everyone else, but St. Louis doesn't care because they have the ball. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 48 of St. Louis when they come back. Paris is like, what? Oh, man, he might be getting mad at the receiver. I don't know. What a guy, Luis Pettis. Luis Pettis. All right. So Battlehawks leading 9-0, and they've looked like the better team since, I'd say, the end of the first quarter. They looked pretty bad at the end of one, but here they are. Again, they're trying to rally back, or I shouldn't say rally back, but just, keep on this momentum. Renegades, on the other hand, again, they had a neat little drive here, and you just, I don't know, really only one big play, and that was pretty much it. The one penalty kind of killed the momentum. The Renegades, just again, it's been kind of reversal. The Battlehawks were bad after one quarter. The Renegades were great after one quarter, but since then, it's been all Battlehawks and nothing for the Renegades. Again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. This is what I do. I'm trying to build that following, so I know it's going to be annoying if you've been here the whole time, which, to be honest, there really hasn't really been anybody here the whole time, and that's perfectly fine, and I'm trying to dip my hand into my actual goal, which is to be more in the football side of things, as I've been streaming a lot of baseball. But when you start in February, well, you got March Madness, and that was fun. And then you got March and April and May and June, July and August. That's going to be all baseball. Hopefully, though, those baseball fans are football fans, and maybe we can have something going as we enter the fall. But yeah, again, also, if you're a first-time visitor, hit that comment button. Feel free to chat about whatever you like. Again, the advantage of me not being popular is that I can read your comments. That comment thing is not going to be moving fast, so definitely don't be shy. And I'm yapping because it's commercial break. So if you're asking, like, why are you promoting all the channel? Well, I do it during commercial breaks because I can't cut to commercial. What am I going to do? As we are working our way back, again, the Battlehawks up 9-0. They have possession of the ball because of the interception, as Pettis, again, he is not happy on the sideline, just looking like he's ranting a little bit. So they're going to show this here. So it might have been an out route, and he ran a little bit outside. So number 8 here, the Deontay Johnson, decides to run the wrong route. That's why, okay, maybe a little bit more insight on why he was just raging. He's telling him to stop. All right, well, anyway, it doesn't matter to me. Battlehawks ball, 9-0. All right, 1st and 10 at the 47. Duggan in the pistol. Receivers in tight. Going right to left on your YouTube screen. Duggan, here's a toss here to number 40. And he's only going to get about a yard or two. Number 41, pardon me. So not much doing there for St. Louis. Just about a yard or two gain. And Duggan, if you look at the stats, well, he hasn't really, well, I should probably pull up the stats for you. 5 for 15. Not exactly great, and you're probably right, but it's been really great defense. 7 passes deflected by the Arlington secondary. 2nd and 8, ball at the 49. Duggan under center. Play action. Steps up. Oh, but he can't get it off in time as Arlington swarms him. And he is sacked, and they are actually showing Caleb Balaj head to the locker room, so that is not good. But Arlington's defense looking to, again, keep them in the game, because, again, St. Louis has heated up a little bit. The Arlington offense is not looking great, mostly because of that St. Louis defense. But this is going to be a 3rd and 14, 3rd and long here. At the 43, they need to get to the other 43. In the shotgun. Duggan back to pass. Looking. Fires over the middle. It is dropped. Incomplete. If he caught it anyway, it wouldn't have mattered. But that's going to be a 4th down, and that's going to force a punt. Again, this defense for Arlington has been locked down. Showing a lot of price. I'm not really too sure who he is, but he's been all over the field. He's been pretty much everywhere where Duggan has thrown the ball. I don't think he's a safety. He may be, but again, he's just been. Price apparently played 71 career games in college. That's pretty crazy. All right, there is the punt. Fielded at, no, it's going to go over his head. He lets it go, and that is going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So St. Louis up 9-0 over Arlington, 9-0 with 8:29 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, they will be right back. I will be right here on Dr. Delay. And feel free to hit that subscribe button. I know you're probably annoyed with me if that's all I do to promote, but I have to because no one else is going to promote for me, and I don't exactly have the greatest following. I just started this whole thing just back in December. Hey, Dr. Delay, just chilling in my chair. Didn't know you were broadcasting. Yeah, no, I am. I'm getting killed in the ratings, Trisk. I do appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, no, it's a rough night. Jaguars, of course. He has a bunch of people. Then there's some other guys I've never heard of before, but they are also broadcasting, and they have a good amount of viewers. So it's going to be pretty tough to really break through, I think. I really just need to rack in as many subscribers as I can from my baseball community and hope that a good amount of them are also football fans, because this is now I'm doing a little bit better than I was when I tried out the Steelers-Ravens thing, that one game, but as far as total views, but it's still like not even close to what I get for baseball. Baseball now I get over 100 easy. It's like not even close, and I would have about 8 or 10 people in here. But yeah, for football, it's not looking that promising. So again, I think I need to. I think the next thing I got to do is I got to make a football video of some sort of. I'm just not good at the editing. That's my concern. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens as I try to build this thing somehow, some way. But it's a little bit. This has kind of got me a little bit scared. But again, I haven't really been able to do this much. With all the work that are, the radio station requiring me to work pretty much the last few weekends for a good bit. Tomorrow I do plan on trying to do the 11 o'clock game, Central Time, of course. So maybe that helps. Maybe that doesn't. I don't know. Hopefully people are asleep. The other creators are. Stay up late, everyone. Jaguar, just take the day off, bud. I promise. You'll be fine. All right, Luis Perez is back. He was 5 for 6 in the first quarter, 5 for 6 for 36 yards. A little bit dink and dunk, but since then, 3 for 6, 27 yards, and an interception. So not exactly great. Arlington going left to right on your YouTube screen. Perez, play action, looking, throws. It is caught at the 30, 35, making people miss. Finally brought down at the 39. Looked like it was trying to do a little bit of a play action screen there. Didn't make it work the first few pump fakes, but it was finally able to get it there. And that's a nice little gain there. Gain of close to 15, I'd say. All right, so 1st and 10 here at the 39. And we have a challenge flag, as they might be challenging the illegal man downfield, or ineligible, pardon me. All right, so yeah, they are challenging. You can challenge penalties or non-penalties in this game. Apparently, you have to be very specific. That's weird. You have to give a specific number. All right, so let's go ahead and see if this was indeed ineligible. Oh, yeah, he's definitely across. So that's going to be an ineligible man downfield. I do apologize. They were confused themselves. They were. Wow. On a screen pass, you can get down the field, really? Okay. All right, anyway, it's going to be 1st and 10. I apologize. They're confused. We had a stoppage of play. I'm confused. But there is no ineligible man downfield. I guess there's none of that as long as it's a screen pass, apparently. If you're caught behind the line of scrimmage, that is news to me. I don't know if that's a UFL rule or not, but anyway, we're going to move on. So 1st and 10 here for the Renegades. First and 10 at the 39. Perez in the pistol. Man in motion. Hands it off here. And we have a stoppage of play. So another stoppage here. As the ref checks his pocketbook. Everyone's mad. Arlington and St. Louis. Okay, so they're just resetting the clock. And I do apologize. A lot of stoppage here. If you've been tuning in and out, well, you're probably left because I have no idea what I'm doing. And yeah, you're right. They don't even know what they're doing. Again, it's just a very poorly officiated game so far. All right. Hopefully, let's get back on track here. Let's get some football going. 1st and 10 at the 39. Perez in the pistol. Perez is going to hand it off here to number 17. Takes it outside. Hit from behind. Still going. But he finally gets tackled at about the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing there for number 17. And it would probably help if I were able to get some of the stats for you. I wish they had the numbers there because I don't really know. I'm going to assume that's Hunter because that's the other guy that's been carrying the ball a lot. All right, so 2nd and 9 here for Arlington. In the shotgun. Perez, man in motion. He's going to toss it there. A little jet pitch there, and he's going to get about 3, maybe 4. I'm not too sure. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 or 5. No, 3rd and about 5 or 6, I should say. 3rd and 5 coming up for Arlington as that ball is at the 44. 6:50 to go and counting. Perez once again in the shotgun. He doesn't really get under center much. 3rd and 5. Empty set there. Man in motion. Gets it off. Throws it over the middle. It's caught. He's still on his feet. Tackled at about the 49. But once again, there is a penalty. And looks like there's going to be a foul on the offense. So this one is indeed going to come back. And it's going to be a personal foul against number 65 of the offense. So the guy that was potentially ineligible ends up giving a face mask there. So he gets his hand to his face. And, yep, you just can't do that. He was just grabbing and ripping it and shoving it down. All right, here, so 3rd and very, very long for Arlington. 3rd and 20 coming up. 6:13 and counting. Perez once again in the shotgun. Shocker. 5 receivers out there, no running backs. Man in motion. Perez snaps. Dumps it off to number 17, but he's not going to get anywhere. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, so I don't know if they were just trying to clear it out there, but a great play by O'Reilly just nullifies that, and it's going to bring up 4th down. So they're going to have to once again punt. Arlington, no point. Here's Marquette King, the former Oakland Raider. That's going to be a squib punt pretty much, and that's going to keep bouncing. And that might get inside the 10. It is. And we have a foul. There's a flag somewhere. And again, just the flags. I mean, there's been so many flags. It's honestly ridiculous. I don't know if they have the flags there or whatnot, but it is honestly incredibly annoying. So there's going to be a holding on Arlington. Holding on Arlington, and they're going to ask for them to re-kick because, again, that punt ended up bouncing inside the 10. So that is a very wise choice. And they're even mentioning it now. Arlington started off the game great. I mean, they were in control, but really it's been nothing since the first quarter. So 4th and 30 coming up for Arlington. Again, they're once again punting. Marquette King, the former Oakland Raider. And he was hit. Hit as he punt. Fielded at the 35. He's at the 40. 45. Pushed out of bounds at about the 48. That was Jackson. But again, he may have been roughed. Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. 15-yard penalty. And that's going to be an automatic first down for Arlington. So just a bunch of... All right now we're entering that. This could be a really bad... I don't know what Cap was doing there. Cap launches himself into the plant league. I don't understand what that was all about. All right, well, we're back here. Arlington just taking over again. This has been a pretty bad game for the last 10 minutes here. Joel Klatt's losing his mind again, just the fact that you even try to block the punt. And honestly, 4th and 30, just let him punt it, I don't understand here. So Arlington gets the ball at the 34. Pettis is going to hand it off here to Hunter. Hunter might have gotten a yard, I don't know, maybe 2, but not much doing. Again, the Renegades offense, really both offenses so far, more so the Renegades, to be honest with you. But they have struggled. The Renegades just can't do anything. All right, so 2nd and 8 at the 36. Pettis moving to his left. He's going to take off, and he's going to slide really late as he gets to about the 37. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 at the 37 here for Arlington. They show me the Doppler radar that is tearing up this part of Texas. St. Louis crowd, again, they are faithful. Seeing how their team is letting Arlington stay in this game. 3rd and 7 at the 37. A lot of movement there, and that is going to be another flag. Again, I really wish they had how many flags they had, because this is ridiculous. There's just too many flags. I mean, this is ridiculous. Oh, it's a delay of game, so not a fault. I mean, it's still a penalty regardless, but I thought it was movement, so the linemen were just trying to time it right. And I do apologize. This probably isn't very entertaining the last 10, 15 minutes. I don't know what they're doing. This is just stupid gameplay. This is just terrible, honestly. All right, I think it's 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12 at the 32. They need to get to the 45. Or 44, pardon me. Pettis back to pass. Oh, yeah, another penalty. Oh, my gosh, I'm about to lose it. Unbelievable. Just absolutely atrocious by both teams. All right, 3rd and 17 here for Arlington. Now, I understand, again, it's a loud crowd, but I really don't know if that has any impact right now on just the players just being so bad. So 3rd and a long way to go. They need to get to the 44. They are at the 27. Pettis back to pass. He's stepping up. Throws over the middle. It is caught at the 45. The defense is saying he dropped it, but they are signaling that he got it. First down for Arlington. Harvey is so adamant that he dropped it. So let's look at the replay here. So after all that mess, we got a really nice play. Pettis, again, staying in the pocket, stepping up, throws. And it looks like he secured it. I don't think he... Again, nice jumping catch there. Had to catch it, jump to secure it. And we have a timeout. Arlington calling a timeout. So, again, after all that nonsense, we finally have a decent play. And then we get a timeout. So, 9-0 Battlehawks leading 2-12 remaining in the third quarter. Again, I do apologize. Terrible game to call, honestly. I'm not even going to lie to you. But, yeah, it's football. I was really excited in the first half. If you've been here the whole time, which I know I have, I can tell you that, yeah, I know I had really high energy, but now it's just like a bunch of just terrible gameplay. But again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate everyone that does. Just trying to grow this channel, see what happens. What's the worst case scenario if you subscribe? No, there really isn't one. If you're here, you like sports in some capacity, and this is a channel for you. It's a sports channel. Again, I cover live games. Really need to figure out what I'm doing with my football videos. I really got to get that going because I got to really start building these subscribers. It's the live games can only do so much. And I have made pretty good progress. I just don't know if I'm making fast enough progress for what I would like to accomplish with this channel. Also, if you're here, don't be a stranger. Comment down below. I appreciate talking with you. It's always a pleasure to just talk sports with someone else. It really is. I mean, my friends, they get sick of me. I get sick of them sometimes. So it's always nice to change it up. And, of course, I love them. Of course, I'm not going to hate on them. I guess I just hated on them in front of everyone. But yeah, no, it's always fun to get a new perspective and see what other people think about certain things. And, again, you can talk about whatever you like. It doesn't really just have to be about sports. It can be about anything you want. As I search through this and looking at some baseball scores, Dodgers up 2-1 on the Braves. Orioles up 3-0. They won 3-0 against the Royals. Manchester City. Okay, I forgot I have the Premier League in there, and my screen went black. Oh, the Blues are up 5-1 on the Jets. The Warriors were down by 5. The Cubs are up 10-0 on the Brewers. Oh my goodness. Blue Jays up 5-3 on the Guardians. Giants and Rockies. I'm interested to see how the Pirates are doing. They're working their way back here. Mets up 6-3 on the Cardinals. Angels up 1-0 on the Tigers. Can we get a Pirates score? Phillies won. Okay, give me the Pirates. Give me the Pirates real quick. Come on. Reds up 6-1 on the Nationals. Come on. Give me a Pirates score. Oh, my gosh. This is terrible. Whatever. All right. Pettis in the pistol. Play action. Stepping up. He's going to dump it off to Hunter. He's at the 50. 45, 40, 35, 30. Pushed out of bounds at the 29. I think I missed the Pirates score just now. Nice play there by Pettis. Again, the running back's wide open. You might as well just check it down here. So that's a nice gain of about 20. So, again, I guess the odd quarters are what Arlington likes. Here's a slant. And no, it's just flat out dropped by number 21. Incomplete. So we mentioned earlier, again, Arlington they dominated the first quarter. Then they looked pathetic in the second quarter, but the Battlehawks looked good in the second quarter. The Battlehawks hadn't really done anything on their few drives here, and Arlington has. They look a lot better now. So we look again. Let's look at the total yards here. I'm kind of interested. So Arlington leading in yards, but not leading on the scoreboard as they are down 9-0. Pettis in the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking. He's going to check it down here in the flat to Hunter, and he's going to lose a yard, maybe 2. So pretty much that yardage gain there is for naught. Oh, no, he didn't get, pardon me, it was an incomplete pass last play. I'm sorry. 3rd and 11 here at the 30. They need to get to the 19. Going left to right on your YouTube screen. That is trying to get them to jump. Again, it's 3rd and 11 at the 30. They need to get to the 19. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pettis, back to pass. Steps up, trying to get away, throws, it's caught, but it's only going to get a yard. Pettis had a guy hanging on him, but he was able to make a nice play. Unfortunately for him, it only gets him a yard. Again, huge pressure from St. Louis. They have been in his face all day long. So that's going to force the offense to the sideline. And I imagine they're going to kick the field goal. I could be wrong, though, because they're going to have time to think about it as we are at the end of 3. Your score, Battlehawks 9, Renegades 0. You're listening to me right here on Dr. Delay YouTube. Again, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Again, I cover a bunch of random games. Today's random game is this UFL game as I try to break into the football scene, try to break up the establishment of YouTube per se. I don't know if that's accurate, and we're kind of failing. I don't really think I've gained anything really, but hey, this is fun. It's still fun to do. It was kind of annoying earlier when you get the bad gameplay. That will be annoying. But I do appreciate everyone that has stopped by, that is currently stopped by. I really do appreciate it. If you are stopped by currently and not a subscriber, I strongly recommend to hit that subscribe button. The worst thing that can happen to you when you hit that subscribe button is nothing. Why? Because it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. That's right. I worked that magic. I made sure that you don't have to pay a thing when you hit that subscribe button. No bill is sent to you. So you are welcome. As I saw, the Pirates are down 5-4, so that's fantastic. But again, the Battlehawks up 9-0. Battlehawks looked really bad in the first quarter. Looked great in the second quarter. Looked bad in the third, but they're up 9-0. They've looked bad 33 or 66% of the game. And yet they are up on the scoreboard. Big plays, though, I would say, are the difference in this game. Again, Duggan with the huge 37-yard run, or might have been a 27. 37. And while they didn't score on the drive, it got them inside the 5, and they went for it like a bunch of idiots. But the Renegades weren't able to do anything, so they had a punt from their own end zone, which had the Battlehawks great field position. And they were able to punch it in there a few plays later with the 30-yard touchdown. And that's the other big play for the Battlehawks. Just chunk plays, really. That has been the story of this game, is chunk plays for the Battlehawks. Very inconsistent from both teams, just in and out. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad, sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. That's pretty much been this game to a T. Again, Luis Perez, you look at his statistics, you're like, 75% completion, but 126 yards. It's just a dink and dunk type of offense. But on the flip side, the defense really has made him work as far as the defensive line. And the Renegades defenders have been all over the receivers. So it's really been a defensive game, forcing the quarterbacks to make plays, and Duggan's been able to make plays. And they're showing a compilation of Anthony Beck to just get mad and swear, and they're bleeping out pretty much everything. Man. All right, well, Anthony Beck is mad. All right, we're at the start of the fourth quarter again. Battlehawks 9, Renegades 3. It's been a tale of odds and evens, really. In the odd quarters, Arlington has been the more successful team. In the evens, it's been so far St. Louis. Here's the kick. The field goal is good. It's that 46-yard field goal is good. Havrasik missed earlier, converts there. So after that nice 3-minute commercial, we're probably going to go back to another commercial because right now they're showing a commercial, but we might stay here. I don't know. So 9-3 is your score. Battlehawks leading the Renegades. Yeah, both these teams 3-2. Renegades winning in the earlier game between these two. Yes, they have played before. In fact, it was just a few weeks ago where the Renegades winning 30-15. All right, so we're kicking off here. Arlington kicking off to St. Louis after St. Louis allowing their first set of points of the game. 9-3 is your score. This one's kicked and fielded at the 8. He's at the 15, 20. And not really a good return there as he just got to about the 20. So unfortunate. And actually that bad return just got a lot worse as that's now an illegal block in the back. That's going to be half the distance. All right, so Max Duggan. Again, you look at the statistics here for Duggan. 5 for 16, 79 yards. That is not good by any means, but I will say that the statistics aren't exactly accurate to how he's been looking so far in this one. Again, the defenders have been all over the Battlehawk receivers. He's been running around. He's been making things exciting. He has 5 carries, 47 yards on the ground. He's the leading rusher for the Battlehawks in the shotgun. RPO here, Duggan, and he's actually going to lose 4. I don't think that was supposed to be an RPO. The running back went forward. He did extend it, but the back was already past him. So that's going to be a loss of 4. So 2nd and 14 coming up for the Battlehawks. Again, 9-3 is your score. The over-under for this game was 42. Not that I really care for betting, but apparently everyone else does. So good for you, I guess. 2nd and 14 at the 6. Duggan, this is the RPO. Duggan, stiff arms, powers through, and gets to about the 15, lowering his shoulder to get the extra yards. That's an RPO that actually worked there because, again, the running back actually was waiting for him. Again, I don't know what happened on the previous play. Getting around the end there and then just plowing forward for an extra few yards. 3rd and 5. Ball at the 15 for St. Louis. In the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right. Duggan back to pass. Heavy pressure. Oh, there's a fumble. No one's on it yet. Still nobody. Now we have it. Arlington recovers at the 10. I don't know what was going on there. I just hit my knee. But the defensive lineman of Arlington was literally just hovering over the ball, not diving on it. And then it's kicked to the sideline, but Arlington's able to snag it up. So we're looking at the replay again. The Arlington Renegades. Number 90, who was that? Number 90 was just waiting for it, waiting for it to fall in his hands, just going around the ball. Number 93 should have just fell on it, but it doesn't matter. Arlington does get it anyway, and they have it at the 10. All right, so Arlington has really good field position here as they have the ball at the 10. 1st and goal. Pettis back to pass. Throws, and it's almost intercepted right in his hands. Right in the hands of a St. Louis Battlehawk, but he flat out dropped it. I don't think he was ready for it. It was just a bad throw by Luis Pettis. Play action here. Looking, fighting, he just flat out missed him. Right to him. I don't know what he was doing. He actually had his hands up. He's just bad. Terrible. I can make that catch. I'm not even kidding. I had great hands back in the day. 2nd and 10 here. Hands it off. And he's going to get about a yard, maybe 2. Pettis is screaming again. He has been appealing to the officials the entire game about every little penalty. Kind of annoying. Third and goal here for Arlington. They are at the 8-yard line. Pettis in the shotgun. Empty set. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Pettis back to pass. Looking. Evades pressure. Throws. It is incomplete. That's gotta be a intentional grounding. But there's no intentional grounding. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what's intentional grounding anymore. He's retreating, does a good job evading, and then he just throws it. So that's going to back. Well, there's no flag, so it's going to be 4th and goal here. Lucas Haversick missed a 44 earlier, made a 46. As again, this he's looking to make this a 3-point game. Pardon me. .26-yard field goal. It's a chip shot. Snap, hold, the kick is up. It is good. So a fumble there by Duggan leads to 3 points to the Renegades. As the Battlehawks were up by 9, now only find themselves up by 3 as it's 9-6 St. Louis over Arlington. 11:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Again, I do want to thank everyone that has stopped by. I do appreciate you. I know it's not exactly the most successful night, as it is what it is. But hey, I got to try. I got to try to get my name out there for the football community. I think I can. It's going to be pretty tough. I got to really get out some videos. That's what I think I need to do. Anyway, it's a little commercial break here. Again, 11:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Battlehawks leading 9-6. Over the Renegades. Of course, it is a Friday night. I gotta try to keep things in perspective. So I'm really interested to see how tomorrow will go. Of course, Saturday, everyone's gonna be busy tomorrow, and but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's Friday night. I don't know. I'm trying to keep a cool head here. But again, I do thank everyone that has stopped by. Again, Battlehawks up 9-6 with 11:45 to go. The Renegades putting up 3 points, 6 points, all 6 points coming in the fourth quarter. So Renegades coming back a little bit. And if you look at the time of possession, the Renegades have already had the ball for 30 minutes, which is half the game. Well, as of 60 minutes, but not for 48. So they've had it for, do the math there. Then I can't do the math for some reason. 15, 24. That's going to be 3/5 of the game. So, yeah, no, it's Battlehawks need to get something going here. Again, Duggan, I've defended him a little bit. I mean, his passing ability isn't that great, but, the really good coverage. But you got to get some points here. So Arlington will kick off here to St. Louis. Battlehawks up 9-6. Winner moves to 4-2. Loser falls to 3-3. Again, the Renegades have defeated the Battlehawks earlier in the season. It was 30-15. This one, a low-scoring battle. And this one is away, fielded at the 10. He's at the 20. Tackled at about the 32. So that'll bring up Max Duggan and this Battlehawk offense. And the St. Louis defense is really good. It's been a battle of great defenses today. I really am impressed with the way St. Louis, with their defensive front. Of course, they have the interception too. Then Arlington with the way their secondary has looked. But, of course, their defensive front has come alive here in the last few quarters. 1st and 10 at the 33. Duggan's going to hand it off to Sailors, and Sailors gets to about the 36-37 as we have some extra pushing and shoving after the play. So 2nd and 6 here for St. Louis. Yards allowed for St. Louis in the loss, 209. They allowed 30. Tonight, 161. They've only allowed 6. So, not really much of a difference there in the yards. 2nd and 6. Duggan. Direct snap to the quarterback. He's going to take off, but he doesn't get anywhere. In fact, he loses a yard. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7. So a big 3rd down coming up here for St. Louis. St. Louis had looked so strong at the end there, or in the 2nd quarter. And right now, Arlington seeming to keep the foot on the gas here. Again, they looked really solid in the 1st and 3rd quarter, respectively. And now they're looking good here in the 4th. But St. Louis still holding on to a 9-6 lead with 10:25 left to go in the 4th. Duggan back to pass. Looking, throws. It's caught at the 40. Makes a guy miss. Dives forward for the 1st down as he couldn't quite keep his balance, but he does do enough to get the 1st. So Jackson, the shifty Jackson, little zig route, was contacted at the 40, stumbled forward for the 1st. So a brand new set of downs for St. Louis. 1st and 10 for St. Louis. Duggan in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sailors right beside him in the backfield. Duggan hands off to Sailors. Sailors plows forward and gets about 7 or 8. Again, I do plan on doing the Houston-Memphis game tomorrow, so if you're interested in that, I will be going live just shy of 11 o'clock Central Time. Hopefully a little more success. We'll see. Houston 2-3, Memphis 1-4. Houston apparently favored by 2.5. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 48 of Arlington. In the shotgun is Duggan. Duggan back to pass. Looking, fires. It is caught at the 44, and that'll be a brand new set of downs for St. Louis. St. Louis in the huddle again. They're looking to try to extend this lead. They were up by 9 earlier, but they find themselves again. They have no momentum right now. Arlington has the momentum. Arlington entered the game with a minus 1.5. Over-under was 42. That one's not going to hit. Duggan in the shotgun. They're going to have to take a timeout, and he is not happy. Duggan is not happy at all, and they're going to have to take a premature timeout, 2nd timeout, so they'll have 1 remaining for the last 8 minutes and 24 seconds. So 8:24 left to go in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 coming up for St. Louis. They are at the 44 of Arlington, so they are on the Arlington side of the field. They could. They score a touchdown to get the extra point, and it's back to a 2-score. Well, actually, it never was a 2-score game. St. Louis was only up by 9 at the most. But look at the first half stats: 141 for St. Louis, 9 in the second half for St. Louis. It's been a tale of 2 halves, but again, really a tale of 1 quarter. St. Louis dominated the 2nd quarter, looked really good. 1st and 10 here at the 43. Duggan. Here's a toss to Sailors. He's at the 40, spinning, trying to stay in bounds. I don't know if he did or not. I think he may have been marked out at the 40. He did dive to 37, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. So 2nd down, ball at the 40. Duggan in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Running back right beside him. Duggan hands it off to Sailors. He plows forward for some more up near the first down marker. Brought down just shy of it. So it'll be third and short. Third and about 1 coming up for St. Louis. Duggan in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, no one to the right. Tight ends in tight. Duggan hands it off to Sailors, but he's not getting anywhere. May have lost about half a yard, so that's going to bring up an interesting decision for St. Louis, as it'll be about 4th and 2 coming up for the Battlehawks. So it looks like Blankenship is coming out there, the former Indianapolis Colt, the former NFL kicker. Always good to have former NFL players on the team. This will be a 53-yard attempt. Blankenship, snap, hold, the kick. It is good as it just sneaks in the right hash. Battlehawks 12, Renegades 6, 6:23 left to go in the fourth quarter. So we got a good one. Very exciting finish, hopefully coming up here as the Battlehawks again up by 6 with 6:23 left to go in the fourth. Duggan now 7 for 18, 93 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no picks. On the ground, Duggan, 7 carries, 55 yards. Sailors, 11 carries, 39 yards. Jackson, 1 carry, 5 yards. Howard, 1 carry, 2 yards. Receiving-wise, Jackson, 3 for 31. Butler, 1 catch, 30 yards. Darby, 1 catch, 16. Pearson, 1 catch, 11 yards. Mims, 1 catch, 5 yards. For the Renegade side, they're going to get the ball back here. Let's look at their stats. Luis Perez, 15 for 22, 126 yards. He does have a pick. Balaj, 9 carries, 30 yards. D. Hunter, 9 carries, 14 yards. Perez, 2 carries, 3 yards. Smith, 1 carry, 2 yards. Hunter, 5 catches, 41 yards. Burnett, 2 catches, 27 yards. Payton, 2 catches, 21 yards. Winstead, 2 catches, 14 yards. Canella, 2 catches, 13 yards. Vaughn's 1 catch, 6 yards. Balaj, 1 catch, 4 yards. Okay, I do want to thank everyone that has stopped by. I know it hasn't really been a great game. Lot of referee stuff. I really got sick of that, but it is what it is. There's only so much we can do about that. But again, if you're a first-time visitor, hey, hit that subscribe button. Help the little guy out. And the little guy helps you out. Why? Because I made it free. You don't have to pay for a thing if you subscribe. Again, I call a bunch of random games. I am looking to make some football videos in the near future. So we'll try to build this little community. As again, I've hit the goal, or I haven't hit the goals, but I'd like to. You know, I went from 27 subscribers to 111 here today from February to now. So I'm liking the progress. We're doing all right. I'm hanging in there as we're returning to action here in St. Louis. Again, Battlehawks up 12-6 with 6:18 or 6:26, pardon me, as we get set. And there's the kickoff. Fielded at the 6. He's at the 10, 15, 20, 25. Spinning. Tackled at the 28. All right, Luis Perez and the rest of the Renegades are coming out here with just over 6 minutes left to try to tie this ball game. Yeah, both these teams 3-2. And again, as it stands, that's just how it goes. USFL, they get 2 playoff teams. The XFL, they get 2 playoff teams. And this XFL, I would say, is a little bit more top heavy. In San Antonio, they are 1-4. So that's pretty much a free win if you play them. 1st and 10 at the 28. Pettis in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pettis hands it off to Hunter. Hunter, he's at the 30, 31, 32. He is moving forward just inch by inch as he's finally brought down at the 34. That was a nice play there by Hunter. Thought it wasn't really going to get much, but that's probably his best carry of the game. As you see now, 10 carries, 20 yards. Just not really much going on for Hunter. 2nd and 4. For the Renegades, going right to left on your YouTube screen at the 34. In the pistol. Pettis hands it off to Hunter. Makes a guy miss. Oh, he goes up the middle. 40, 45. He's at the 50 now. As I just said, that was the best run of the game. Now, that was his best run of the game, as he is now starting to pick it up here late in this one. Making a guy miss there. Making a nice cut. Just turning up the field, going north and south. Might have to let Deontay Johnson know that is the thing to go north and south. But actually, he's with Cleveland now, so we can keep going east-west. That is fine with me. 1st and 10 at the 50. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pettis, back-to-pass play action. It's caught over the middle at the 40, 35, and the ball came out at the end. I don't know if he was down. I think they are going to say he was. No, they're saying it's... What's going on? So Arlington's saying he's down. St. Louis fans are saying he recovered. They are saying that he caught it and fumbled, which was clearly a catch. He took plenty of steps in 10 yards. It really looked initially like he was down. So let's see what happened here. Oh, that ball is out. So St. Louis forces the fumble after a nice catch and run there. But it's going to be St. Louis ball at the 29. So can St. Louis close it out? But, oh, look at that. Another stoppage here. Timeout Arlington. As I think they are just kind of shell-shocked. Arlington looking like they were going to at least tie the game. But St. Louis now with a chance to put the nails in the coffin here. Again, a touchdown would pretty much do them in. Caw, Mark Berry, very happy about the Battlehawks. Thank you for stopping by, Mark Berry. I appreciate you. Again, just calling this game. Battlehawks up by 12. It's been kind of a, Mark, if you're watching the game, again, the Renegades looked really good in the first. Battlehawks looked great in the second. Renegades, again, looked good in the third, but no points were scored. And Arlington still had the momentum, but obviously that is a killer there. 3 turnovers for Arlington. Duggan in the pistol, hands it off to Sailors. Sailors breaking many tackles, still on his feet at the 33. Mark, I do hate to ask you this, but I do it. Again, if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I do call as many games as possible. I know that doesn't sound too promising, but this is my 3rd game of the UFL, and I believe they've all been Battlehawk games, ironically. That's just the way it's worked. I do plan on calling the 11 o'clock tomorrow if, I'm not called into work or anything like that. It's pretty much the crutch is that I work a lot of weekends. 2nd and 7 here at the 33. Duggan in the shotgun. Duggan hands it off once again to Sailors. He powers forward for about 3, maybe 4. I'm not too sure. It's going to be 3rd and short regardless. So mark it clear. St. Louis Battlehawk fan. I know there's a lot of fans in St. Louis. They miss the St. Louis Rams. They feel like they got screwed over, and that's a fair feeling because I honestly feel like the Rams should be back in St. Louis myself. I don't really care for the LA thing. But, maybe one day the NFL returns there. Maybe they're tired of it. Maybe you guys are tired of it. Here, 3rd and 3, Duggan back to pass. He's going to check it down. Oh, but it's batted at the line. Looked like it was going to be a halfback swing. But a great play by Arlington forces a possible punt. Looks like it was a halfback swing and a great read by the Arlington defensive line. Payne able to start breaking on the running back and just gets a fingertip on it. So that's going to force the punt. So here is the punt. It's off. Fielded at the 24. He's juking. And he doesn't really get much of anything as he is tackled at about the 27. So Perez will come out with 2:53 left to go in the fourth. Battlehawks up 12-6. Arlington looking to at least tie this one. Push it to overtime or, of course, flat out win on the extra point, 1, 2, or 3. It's your choice. That's just how the UFL is. Again, if you haven't been here before, well, hey, hit that subscribe button. I do appreciate everyone that stops by. It's always a pleasure to interact with everyone. If you're new here, definitely comment down below. I like talking with you. It's just the way it is. You know, I like interacting with sports fans. You know, I get tired of my friends sometimes. You know, I like to get some new perspectives. That's just the way it is. You know, I like to change things up. It's one of the advantages of not being a popular channel is, well, hey, you know, that chat's not going to move fast, so you definitely can get your voice heard, and I will read it because, again, it's not exactly going to be a fast-moving chat. So 2:53 here in this one remaining, fourth quarter. Battlehawks up 12-6. They will have the ball at the Arlington 27. And I'm getting a good dose of, you know, reality as, again, a lot of football fans out there as they are streaming this game, or not, I mean, just doing their own little. So again, you got Jaguar at 35. You have this guy, Zom Fox. I've never heard of him. Rising Rhino at 22. So where am I at? I'm way down here. I am just. You have to keep scrolling for me. I need to just get better at it, I guess. All right, we're working our way back here in St. Louis as this one is nearing the end of the game, or at least the end of regulation. Again, it is 12-6. Renegades up. No, Renegades are down, but they have on the field. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. So Battlehawks up 12-6, but Renegades with a chance to tie and possibly win. 2:53 left on the clock. This is what, hey, you know, this is what we all dream about as kids, leading a fourth quarter comeback. And can Arlington do it? 1st and 10 at the 28 in the shotgun. Perez hands it off to Hunter. Hunter working with it to about the 33-34 yard line. So Hunter started off slow, but he has made it. He has come alive here in this in the fourth quarter, really. I mean, he was averaging about a yard a carry for the most part. 2nd and 4. Ball at the 34. Perez in the shotgun. And once again, it's off to Hunter. Hunter breaking tackles, breaking forward for a first down. And that should take us to about the 2-minute warning, as my cat is going crazy behind me. I do apologize. So 2-minute warning. Battlehawks up 12-6, but the Renegades with the ball. So this is looking like it will come down to the wire. Last possession. Ooh, big shocker. It's rigged. Possibly. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest with you, because, again, everything comes down to the wire nowadays. Though, really, with most of these UFL games, that's not been the case. Really, it hasn't. I don't know if I can look at the, see if I can look at the odds to win. I like looking at that little graph. I don't know if it's going to, yeah, okay, that didn't really update 2 hours ago. Give me the, what is this garbage? Is that what it closed at or what? I feel like there should be like it should have, anyway, whatever. All right, Arlington again. They are up 12-6. No, pardon me. Gosh, dang it. St. Louis is up 12-6. I'm just getting tired, I guess. But Arlington with the ball with 2 minutes remaining. And again, if you see Arlington, they've dominated time of possession. Or it was really bad earlier when they had 30 minutes to 18. St. Louis, of course, has had the ball. Unfortunately, not able to do anything for them. Of course, if you're a St. Louis fan, I have no dog in the fight. But again, Luis Perez 16 for 23, 145 and a pick, whereas Max Duggan, not exactly great statistically, but he definitely, I think, that just been really great defense for the most part. 7 for 19, 93 yards and a touchdown. So we're at the 2-minute warning now. Again, this is why, it's just kind of boring, whenever it's just a unfortunate event. Again, I'm trying to keep in mind where I came from. The Steelers-Ravens game, I got, 30 views? 82 current. Well, total views. Current viewers, too. It is what it is. Not exactly a day to remember, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. We got to get our name out there. And my cat's gone hyper. All right, hold on. All right, we're back. That was embarrassing, but it is what it is. All right, Perez here. 2-minute warning. Coming out of it, empty set here, ball into 39. Perez in the shotgun, back to pass. Looking, stepping up. Oh, but he fumbles! He fumbled the ball, and it looks like St. Louis has recovered. Unbelievable, building up the drama, and it looks like St. Louis may win this game. So the first play outside of the 2-minute warning, he fumbles it. Unbelievable. And now they're showing news coverage. What the heck? I don't know what the heck. So what the heck is my local news trying to do? They're still on. They cut back now to football. All right. 1 minute and 50-something seconds. Unbelievable. Luis tried to make a play. Unable to do so. He fumbles the ball. 4 turnovers now for Arlington. Duggan in the shotgun. Hands it off to Sailors. Sailors powering forward against 2 guys. Still going forward. He's at the 32, 31, 30, 29. He is dominating right now. Just give the ball to Sailors. That seems to be a great strategy. Again, he is a great player as they once again show Luis just stepping up, but he is just wrecked. Fumbles the ball, and he holds it. He's like, oh, what did I do? Well, you may have lost the game there. First and 10 here for St. Louis. Arlington, I believe, was still 1 timeout. I'm not too sure. I'm still kind of like... So Arlington does take their final timeout. And I believe that is going to be the game because, again, there's no way you can stop the clock with 1:41 left to go unless, of course, there's a freak accident. Pita Tamupenu. I wish I could say his name, but 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, what a play by Pita. Not Pita Malak, Pita Tamupenu. And Duggan is going to take a knee as it looks like St. Louis won't be swept by Arlington. They pick up this game too. Again, formerly losing a few weeks ago, the Renegades winning 30-15, but St. Louis winning the rematch 12-6. Arlington falls to 3-3. They're going to be 2-2 in conference. St. Louis will move to 4-2 in conference, or 4-2 overall, and 2-2 in conference. Again, the St. Louis has probably the best UFL fan base. Even had a guy in here, Mark Barry, coming in here just to say caw and then dipping. But yes, this game is pretty much over. I would say I'm going to call it there because this is it. 40 seconds left. Again, I want to thank everyone that has stopped by. I know I'm the only one here, but I do appreciate you. Again, if there is anyone out there watching, I am thankful for you as I try to break this or try to get this channel up there. Is St. Louis winning 12-6. Feel free to hit that subscribe button if this is your thing. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show that. I really wish I could, but I really don't want to take the chance and get a freaking copyright strike. But again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button again. And in the future, feel free to comment. I love talking with you about sports. It keeps the energy high. You're pretty much my color commentator. It makes me feel like I'm not alone out here, in the cold, cruel world of YouTube. So I try to break through somehow. But yeah, Battlehawks 12, Renegades 6. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow as I give this another shot. Hopefully, maybe with better results. I don't know. We'll see. But I got to start somewhere. But again, hit that subscribe button. I don't think it's something you'd regret. I promise we will make this work. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be careful out there, and peace.